New contenders appear on the horizon. They are ready to challenge the world order. They will try to lay claim to the title of world's best. Europe and North America will host the best players Arena of Valor has to offer. They will compete for a share of $50,000 and a chance to represent their region at the World Cup. Everyone is out for their shot at immortality. So find your hero, assemble your team. This is the Valor Series.
Weeks, 200 plus teams, 1,400 plus players have had an opportunity to get themselves on the battlefield, and today it comes to the epic conclusion. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Intel Esports Arena, where we have the Valor Series presented by AT&T. My name is Bill Jump Carter. Joined with me, I've got Jeffrey Sui J. Chow and Mr. Paul Invirum Todd Kill. Gentlemen, it all comes down to this.
Yeah, week 6, this is when teams get to go out with a bang, so I'm excited to see how it's going to end the last day.
This is the last shot for these teams to put sort of an exclamation point on the regular season. For those who've qualified, for those looking towards E3, this is a chance to sort of say, hey, watch out. We know we can do, but it's also maybe a chance to have a little bit of fun.
Well, with all of the teams that have been participating, only 4 will make it from each region. So let's go ahead and take a look back at the tournament format that they have been competing with.
Welcome to the Valor Series for Europe and North America. Over the next few months, teams will compete against one another to be the first ever Valor Series champions. Let's take a look at what it takes. The Valor Series features 6 weeks of competition with open qualifiers. Each week, teams will enter the qualifiers to earn a spot in the top 8. Points will be awarded to the top 8 based on bracket results. Only the top 6 will secure their spot. The last 2 teams enter relegation and must compete in the open qualifiers the following week to retain their spot. Only the 2 winners of the qualifiers will claim the remaining spots in the top 8 each week. After 6 weeks, the top 4 teams with the most points will compete in the finals in Los Angeles, California. Each team will compete for their share of $50,000, the Valor Series Championship, and a ticket to the World Cup. 6 weeks of the best Arena of Valor teams Europe and North America have to offer. This is the Valor Series.
In just its inaugural season, the Valor Series has created hype in every region of the world. The Arena of Valor World Cup hosting a $550,000 prize pool, the largest prize pool in a single event for mobile gaming esports. And as we have seen over the course of the last 6 weeks, teams are trying their best to make sure that they get an opportunity to go to the AWC.
Yeah, the Arena of Valor World Cup is 9 regions across the world. Are going to come together in Los Angeles in July to compete and be crowned the world champion. But before you get there, NA and EU, you gotta be the best team in the Valor Series, where in June we have live playoffs, and the winner of each region is going to be able to represent their region.
Oh, for sure. But of course, all the teams competing here are going to be getting money if they secure that top 8 spot. Everybody's a winner. Some are just better winners than others, I guess.
Better winners indeed. But hey, just because you're maybe not a pro player, or maybe you're an aspiring to be one, that doesn't mean that you can't be a winner as well. Each and every week, courtesy of our friends over at Razer, we've been giving away a Razer phone. We have had 5 winners thus far. Week number 6 is upon us, which means the 6th winner is potentially you. So head on over to esl.gg/Valor Series giveaway so you can find yourself an opportunity to win the Razer phone. Now, gentlemen, we are starting with Europe, as always, every week here in the Valor Series, and teams have been going at the top, but it is Team Noob, the only team to have secured themselves that number 1 spot. Vitality for the Dream and Royal have also, and Nova have secured themselves that spot, Nova winning over Royal earlier this week, but now it all comes down to seeding.
That was actually a huge win for Nova coming into this. They were neck and neck going into this spot. These 2 teams have battled week after week. We've had some ups and some downs. They've upset some of our predictions a few times now, which is awesome. But of course, looking at this top 4, as you said, Jump, it all comes down to seeding, because whoever is in that 4th seeded position, yeah, it's not a lot of fun going up against Team Noob.
It's
gonna be one we're gonna have to look out for the course of today. But let's go ahead and take a look at our bracket for Europe. We have the quarterfinals on Wednesday. Team Noob, Nova for the Dream and Vitality, not only securing themselves the semifinals berth, but that is going to be your top 4 teams. But the order is what we have to consider, and I know that a big disclaimer for that is going to be the For the Dream Vitality matchup later today.
Yeah, definitely. That is going to determine the winner coming out of that. It's going to move up either second or become third. So that's a very important matchup that I'm excited to watch.
Yeah, for sure. But of course, you have to talk about these relegation matchups as well, because of course, these teams still want to maintain their spot in that top 8, win that money as well. So for these guys, you know, it really comes in, showing up, get that cash, move on forward as well, and then look towards the next time, improve as a team, get that valuable experience.
And that's the important thing is, despite the fact that you won't be making it to the top 4, those relegations are just as important because every single member of the top 8 is winning themselves prize money. And this is only the inaugural season of the Valor Series. There are potentially more seasons to be had. There's no doubt in my mind that we're not going to see more Arena of Valor professional scene continuing to grow, and getting that extra experience, getting those extra games are really important for all of these teams.
Yeah, it's just the beginning, guys, and I've been through it before. The season's going to get more and more competitive, so this experience is going to definitely give you a nice leg up when it comes to the next Valor Series that may be upcoming after, you know, we finish this season.
Oh yeah, I mean the scene's young. Get in now, get that experience, get going with that. I mean that's really huge. I mean it's hugely important for these teams because then they can get that money in their pocket and say, okay, I know I can do this at a professional level. I know we're there, but we just need to keep working and take it to that next higher level.
Well, we're not going to keep you guys waiting any longer. Our first semifinal of the day is going to be Team Noob taking on Nova Esports. We can talk about Team Noob and their success till they're blue in the face, but thinking about Nova, and I know this was something that you talked about a lot about as well, is momentum is on their side. You bet on momentum teams on Wednesday, Suijay, and Nova is definitely fitting that profile.
Yeah, definitely. With Crayon back on the lineup, this is huge for them, I feel.
Oh, yeah.
They perform well. I mean, Royal, right, beat Nova 2 weeks in a row. They 2-0'd them. And then that was the deciding match, and Nova came back with a bang. Crayon got back on the roster. So I feel like with Crayon on the roster, they may be able to upset a Team Noob, which they have taken games off.
Oh yeah, they have, and we've seen this time and time again. Team Noob, they're a slow start. They're the juggernaut. If Royal can, if Nova can come out, as I should say, and if they can do, they've been so back and forth every single week. Either one of them could have been in this spot, but it was Nova who came out on top. If they can take advantage of that here, I mean, I'm not maybe going as far as predict an upset, but we'll maybe can see 3 games.
Yeah.
Well, let's go ahead and break down the Team Noob roster. Like we've said, the juggernauts over here in Europe. Now, Team Noob has won every single week of the Valor Series for Europe. This team is looking absolutely unstoppable.
Yeah, they are. Even subbing in Coco or taking Vex out, it doesn't matter. The team performs very, very well. And we see 0-7 there doing some very nice, innovative side lane pickups like Yorn on side lane. So this team is just so flexible, so unstoppable.
I mean, they have the shell. They have the ability to come in, as you said, and put different people into some different positions because they have just such good bones as a team. The structure is there, the way they organize themselves, the way they make their rotations. That's really sort of, I think, the defining factor of this team. It's not only their ability to play as individuals, but their ability to come together as a team when it matters, flip the switch, turn on, and become unstoppable.
And the question becomes, are they going to be able to keep up this momentum in week number 6? Now, because Nova has secured themselves the number 4 spot, this is going to be the first matchup that we will see at E3 for the regional finals. And so for Team Noob, they can either continue to assert dominance or maybe even switch things up a little bit for some sort of hiding of the cards. But Nova is not wanting to do that. I wouldn't see Nova doing anything of the sort. They need to come out hard. They need to get as much research as they can. And Nova Esports, like you said on Wednesday, Suijay, have the momentum coming into today.
Yeah, and this is the best practice you're going to get for live playoffs. I mean, this is the chance because you're playing on a tournament stage. So both teams need to play their heart out, but especially Nova because they need to prove themselves and show that they can be in contention. And they could be a team that, although is 4th seed, could come out of nowhere and win the finals, and this is their chance to really showcase that.
Oh, for sure. They really need to take it to Team Noob here. I mean, they need to make sure that they don't walk out of this getting totally, hearts down, 2-0 clean. Like, they need to put up a fight here because that's going to be weighing on them. for the next few weeks. If they get absolutely destroyed in this matchup, that is going to be in the back of their heads. All the practice they're going to put in, everything else aside, that is going to be weighing in the back of their heads. Going forward, so they need to prove to themselves that they can do well here.
And the other aspect is, at the end of the day, if Team Noob secures themselves a finals victory, they'll have won every single week of the Valor Series. And so we think about, oh, do you want to hide your cards? Oh, do you want to do this? I mean, Team Noob also wants to be able to flex their muscles and be like, all right, guys, we won every single week. Come at us. E3 is going to be nuts.
I'm so ready.
It's going to be
so ready.
It's going to be a good one. But now we have our great point of the day where, Sweet J, you dropped. You were 1% away. You were less than 1% away from, I'm never going to forget, from 90%. You predicted wrong once at the beginning of the broadcast on Wednesday, and it dropped you to 87. So now you're going to have to keep these streaks up if you want a chance to get to 90. You have Team Noob. You have Nova Esports. Who's going to win the semifinals?
It's going to come down to, I think, side lane matchup this time. iFlex, phenomenal. He plays Jorn side lane as well as 07 does. But I think 07's kind of ahead of the meta, and Team Noob, can't bet against them. I'm not going to bet against them. So
look at that, 86%.
It's going to be
oh,
Team
buddy.
Noob. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree. I think Team Noob. They just again, they've won every single week.
Every single week.
They would be kind of silly at this point to bet against them unless they come out playing with their phones upside down. I think we're probably okay. And maybe they'll just auto adjust and they'll be fine. So
I'm just waiting for the day someone publishes a YouTube video of playing the game upside down. You know, you think about conventional gaming and you have like, 2-person, 1-person keyboard, 1-person mouse. No. Let's just invert it or play with opposite hands or something. The options are endless. Something to think about. But I digress. Let's talk about you, Twitch chat. Who do you think is going to win? Do you believe in Nova Esports, or is Team Noob going to take it yet again for the 6th week in a row? Team Noob or Nova? Let us know in the Twitch chat. After the pick ban phase, we'll be able to check back in with you. That is going to get started right now. Team Noob on the blue side, Nova on the red, and it looks like we have a Zephys as well as a Superman ban right off the start.
One thing I need to mention is Team Noob wants to beat Nova. They want to face Nova in the playoffs because honestly, For the Dream of Vitality look like a lot stronger team. So it's in their best interest to actually beat Nova.
yeah, so I believe so. I think we did the math earlier on this.
We
It's
did do the
5
math.
points.
Yeah, so there
I was mistaken to start the show. So
Yeah.
fourth place is secure. Fourth place is
yes, Nova Esports has
Yeah.
4th place no matter what. We did the computations, and even if they were to win and Vitality was to lose in the semifinals, For the Dream will still have 5 points over them coming into it. So this matchup
points.
is what we will see at E3. So now it becomes who is going to show their hand the most. The ban phase is getting finished out. Zephys, Omen, Teamy, Ryoma, Flash, and Superman.
That just goes to show how important every placing of every week was.
Yeah.
Because when it comes down to it, all the difference was 5 points.
That's crazy.
In 6 weeks of play. That just goes to show how much it matters that you come out every week, you compete, you put in the work, you put in the time. Because, again, it comes down to that. But let's get back to this draft. Wonder Woman coming out as the first pick here. Almost a very NA-esque first pick.
Yeah, and we see they're not picking Liliana yet. Liliana is open. So she's going to be picked up here along with potentially, a stronger side laner like Lubu to match against his Kilgroth and Malak here. Malak and Kilgroth being picked is very interesting because Kilgroth has seen a lot more play in EU. Yeah, Zenio has not been picked up as well.
That's the question mark that gets raised as well. Malak being a first pick is nothing out of the ordinary, but a very early Kilgroth. We're not used to seeing junglers such as Kilgroth being picked so early in the lineup, because there are very easy counter pick options that teams can choose. Liliana and Lubu being picked there for Team Noob. Tulin and Lumber picked up immediately for Nova. So Nova going back to some comfort style with that much more tankier support roam in that Lumber.
I like that here because the reason why Zenio is not picked because Kilgroth counters him. If Zenio flies away, Kilgroth can easily take towers like Omen does. So with Omen being banned, Kilgroth is actually a very nice side laner they can pick on the second here.
Cybercore Nakroth has been released just recently for Arena of Valor, and I was literally in the broadcast going, I hope we can see one of these today, and lo and behold, he's there in Virum.
I love it. That skin is sick. If you haven't seen the new trailer for that coming out, that animated feature was dope. That was super cool. And
that's double damage, magic damage. Just a Tulin and a Zil. So we're going to see a lot of medallions of Troy's being built on Team Noob. They have a very high engage comp with Lubu, Wonder Woman, and a Nakroth. Kresh is also really good at engaging, and And Liliana, too. She can actually go in there with the Fox form.
Oh, yeah.
But the Kilgroth and the Tulin are really good at those counter engages, so it's going to be a really fun match to
You
see how...
have to talk about the shock.
Yeah.
The shock, the counter initiation. I mean, I'm sorry to cut you off, but like every single time they're going to commit on this, the Crest, how they interact with that as well, going off the Metamorphosis, that's really what I'm looking for here. This Malik play needs to be on point. He needs to be the one setting the pace, but also shutting down when Team Noob tries to turn it on.
I actually like the decision for both of these teams to also not decide to pick something like an Alice. The more you play against the Alice, the more that we've seen Team Noob have the success, the easier it's going to be for the opposite team to have some sort of data research and download on how those rotations are actually happening from the roam position. And so the decision to pick the Crest, while we have seen it in a lot of opportunities to be something as more of a niche pick to help out other teams, it's also a situation where the less Alice play that you can have, the better off you're going to be and the more cards you're going to be able to hide for both of these teams.
Yeah, and we saw both regions know how to start counterplaying against the Alice. They're doing a really good job of countering Alice compositions because that became meta for a little bit, and then teams figured out, oh, this is how to beat it.
Team Noob 69% over Nova's 31. So a few believers in Nova, but as to be expected, Team Noob still holding themselves pretty hot and heavy. Though, in Virum, I know it's been a couple weeks since you've been on the broadcast. I know you've missed us. I know you're ready to go. Well, it is time for us to get right into it. Team Noob versus Nova Esports for our first semifinal of our final week here in the Valor Series Europe. It's going to be week number 6. Let's get it on, gentlemen.
Feels good to be back here, week number 6 of the Valor Series. Yes, indeed. Thank you so much, Jump. Sui J, we get into this early game right now, and Team Noob is playing aggressive. No surprise there.
Yeah, that's their signature playstyle. They want to exert dominance over the enemies, and they have a pretty strong invade composition. This is what a Necroth wants to do, is get in your face and steal it, and Vex, as usual, always so good at stealing away the jungle buffs.
I mean, his punish timings are just impeccable coming in. This guy is an absolute beast. We talk about him constantly here. But I like seeing a little bit of potentially counter aggression coming in here from Nova. And this is the thing we talked about. Nova cannot allow Team Noob to get any momentum here in this matchup. Nova, we've seen their ability. They struggled a bit in the late game sometimes. Their early games generally have been okay. They need to show that here against Team Noob.
Yeah, definitely regarding the early game. And they actually have beaten Team Noob when they did have a huge early game lead. But right now, Team Noob is the more aggressive team. They've taken 2 blue buffs, and if Zil falls behind, his damage output is going to be very decreased, and he needs to get items for him to be such a dangerous hero assassin once he reaches that level 4 power spike.
I mean, he's very high risk, high reward too, because he needs to be making sure that he's hitting those skill shots. So, and against a team like Team Noob, they might struggle there because their movement is always so clean here. And Krayan already feeling some threat here coming in from that Crest. So I like this here as well. And we already see Sepka side laning that kill guard. That's kind of what I expect to see here, something he's been doing a lot more of recently. Obviously, I talk about how fantastic Sepka is in that side lane because his abilities to win lane matchups that he just strictly shouldn't.
Yeah, what a nice rotation by Nova here. Securing the Spirit Sentinel. There's a 4-man rotation onto Dragon side. And they're going to start trying to take it here. And the punish is up from Vex here. And it's going to come down to who is going to be able to steal this Dragon at the very last second.
Oh, the side of Nova's going to look to go and maybe try and find it. Restless a little bit slow on that rotation there, not able to get that crucial damage. They may have been able to find the collapse there, try and snipe, line up all that damage at the end. But Team Noob, the way they position, pull back that Dragon just inside leash range, but just out of sort of that danger zone that Nova was trying to set up. Really nice play.
Yeah, what a decisive call by Team Noob, too. They saw that Nova took the Spirit Sentinel, and they rushed the Dragon immediately, just in time, where Nova was not able to get in there and steal and respawn. And as a result, they come out ahead by taking the Dragon.
They do indeed, and now they're looking to pick up first blood here. Can they find it? One more auto, and they do indeed. Nicely done coming in here from Team Noob. 0-7 being that bait, and Vex able to get himself out. The Metamorphosis coming in from 0-9 as well. It's Poseidon looking to rotate, potentially try and line up the stun. He finds there. The light is coming in, and now it is the Fox form. He's trying to get those picks in the back, and there it is. Poseidon, a beautiful rotation.
Yeah, what a nice play there by Vex. Coming in, getting the gank, getting that knock-up, securing the kill, and then also Krayan did a good job too. He was auto-attacking. He threw out his wind blades, got the stacks up, and then he ulted, maximizing his damage output on Zil, but it just wasn't enough. Vex was able to flicker out to safety, and then the rotation from Poseidon coming up here, getting a huge double stun with a biting light, shining light, and then transforming to Fox form, and then securing the kill on Crayon there. So really, really nice Liliana plays by Poseidon.
Putting on a clinic right now. I mean, I'm a little bit surprised seeing that Liliana sort of make it through there, because we know in the hands of a master mid laner, the master mage, we've seen how powerful Liliana can be, and I would say Poseidon, he's exactly that.
Yeah, Poseidon is a monster on his Leon. The way he's playing aggressively, and that's exactly when you want to play aggressively, is once she hits that level 4 power spike, she actually has a ton of damage output. She can push her mid lane a lot faster with Fox form, and the more that you utilize her Fox form abilities back and forth, the more DPS that she's able to output.
Oh yeah, we're seeing it here, just, you know, weaving in and out as they rotate up towards the top lane here. Sebka needs to be careful. They have all the ability to just dive onto this tower. That Kilgroth is just gone. Timing it beautifully with the crash of the minion wave. The tower is going to drop as well. But Nova, realizing, you know, hey, all of a sudden Team Noob is up in the top lane. They're going to get some value elsewhere on the map in the form of this dragon.
Yeah, very smart from Nova here. They need to trade it, and they need to get someone up to top lane now because they can lose another tower. And it's not worth to give 2 towers off for a dragon. You need someone to go up there. But it looks like they're going to give up this tower and try to rush the bottom tower. This is a little risky play by Nova here because one thing that's really rough here is a Kilgroth needs to win his side lane. If Kilgroth falls behind, he becomes much easier to kill. He has less items, less levels, and as a result, he can't go in like he wants to and do a lot of damage.
He doesn't have that tankiness, the survivability that he needs to just get off those crucial auto attacks as a fight. A little bit of a scuffle, I should say, breaks out here in the middle lane. But Restless now being the target here as a great Earth Splitter, going to try and get them back. But 0-7's like, nah, we still want to take this fight. The nice Injure coming in there as well. Dodge the Metamorphosis, trying to turn on the back of the 0-7 might be the target as we do have that kill being picked up there. Nice bait coming in from Nova. Restless is going to fall. There's the trade coming out here as well. And now it is iFlex trying to pick up Vex, who's in real deep in the back.
Yeah, what a nice play by Malik there, getting the ultimate, focusing on 0-7. He's kind of get caught out. Vex had to jump out to escape that shock ultimate, but he also landed on him. And as a result, they're able to win this fight here. And Team Noob now has to back off and play a little less aggressive.
I love the decision-making from Team Noob, though. So first, again, you talked about it in the draft. It comes down to the side lane matchup. They identify, hey, Sebka's really solid. We do not want to let him get stacked. So they constantly rotating top, constantly getting the pressure. Even though it's the early game, it's, you know, not often you want to see pressure on the dragon lane being the priority, but no. They're going to shut down the Slayer side dragon lane. They push it in all the way and then immediately shift their focus down to bottom. Nova is under pressure across the board.
Yeah, even though Sebka is being punished here on top, he has 2.6 gold, but the Zill has 2.3. He is so behind in damage items. He's got to build and rush to get his Apocalypse because with just Loki's Curse, the magic jungle out of damage item he has, it's not going to be enough. That's why Zill, if Zill uses his ultimate, he does not kill somebody, he's pretty much a little bit useless because he has to wait for that long cooldown. His ultimate has such a high cooldown that you want to go in there, assassinate someone, and then jump back in. But if he can't kill somebody, he becomes a target because he's so squishy and he needs to be able to play the assassin when he can. But without the items, it's going to be really tough.
It is indeed. He's sort of a, as I said, he's a high-risk, high-reward hero. You go and you commit. If he works, he's great if he gets that initial pick. But if he doesn't, as you said, once he's pulling the cooldown, it's sort of just like, well, I'm here. I'm going to do my best. But as you said, you know, it really just comes down to they need to make sure that they get those targets weakened to the point that he can take them down. And now it is Sebka being the one being taken down here just a little bit too far forward. He does not have a hope.
Yeah, he's got to be careful there. But Kunova is going to counter-engage and get a kill on Coco and potentially secure this bottom tower. And that's a nice trade, a nice rotation by Nova. But look at Team Noob here, rushing the Darkslayer at already the 7.5 minute mark.
Oh yeah, this is a really nice play here from them. They identifying, again, the fact that Nova's going to commit onto that bottom tower. And I have to say, that skin that Vex is using right now, the new one, it's so pretty.
Yeah, I love it. I love the effects, and it's such a... Look at that.
Look at
oh,
that.
my goodness.
Oh, that's just cool.
It makes me want to play it.
It's like he heard me. It's like he's like, let's just show this off right now. Darkslayer going over the way of Team Noob, identifying the fact that they could do so. They had the damage. They had the bodies on board. They're going to pick this up now. And, of course, they want to convert this into towers. And this is looking like exactly what they're going to be doing here.
Yeah, they want to get at least 3 towers to make this Darkslayer worth it. And a high ground tower if possible, because once you get the high ground tower, you're going to unleash that super minion in that wave and put a lot of extra pressure against Team Nova here.
Oh yeah, Nova needs to be careful as the invade is coming in. They need to not overcommit. However, they do have a body advantage here. This is actually a 5v3. This might actually be the fight that they need to take here as Poseidon does fall. Great job. But we do have Vex joining it as well. Restless is going to be the target, and the Crash getting so much value here. But the damage might already have been done for the side of Team Nova, taking this fight at a huge advantage for them. 5v3, they're making it work, only losing 2. So that's a 2 for 1 trade here coming out from Nova.
Yeah, a little over-aggression there by Poseidon and 0-9 there. Fighting against an uneven number, but look at the damage. Crayon is able to get out just in time, but Vex comes from the back line and secures the kill onto him.
Nice flank there coming in from Vex, weaving his way through the jungle on that Nacross. So nimble going in there, able to pick up that kill in the mid lane. Very nicely done there from Team Noob, trying to sort of bring this back to parity here. And I'm kind of surprised. That was an uncharacteristic misstep from Team Noob there. Thinking, I mean, maybe it's just they're feeling a little bit too confident here, and that's them getting punished for it.
Yeah, and look at this. Poseidon's going to get caught out again. That's his second death there, and he's got to be careful. As a result, that's going to open up map control. But however, Nova is not able to convert any of these kills into more map objectives because Team Noob is taking the Abyssal Dragon, taking their jungle. Vex is just going all over the jungle, eating the farm up. I mean, he just took the Spirit Center. Look at him. He's constantly rotating. He's at 6.1k gold lead. The most fed in the game. This is exactly how you want the Croft to work. He just gets ahead and runs around your jungle, gets farmed up, and shows up and starts taking names and getting kills.
Well, it's interesting here because you look at that mid lane matchup is the only matchup that's actually even right now if we look in terms of gold. Tulin is actually on par right now with Liliana because of these aggressive plays coming out from Poseidon. And, you know, people don't get to play Liliana as much anymore, so maybe it's feeling a little bit out of practice here on that hero, or maybe as just feeling a little bit overconfident here. But a 3.4k gold lead coming out from Team Noob here. This is not over yet for Nova by any means. They've still managed to fend off the structures pretty well here, and they've actually done some pretty decent structural damage of their own.
Yeah, they're doing a really good job protecting tier 1 mid tower. That gives them some flexibility there. You saw that 5-man rotation protecting the tier 1 tower. This is what Nova excels at, especially in the late game. Their team rotations are just on point. They use it to push their snowball, or in this case, they're now using it in a very, very nice defensive posture.
The defensive posture, I think, is really the name of the game here. As you said, keeping this middle tower alive, it's so important. It's this wall in the middle of the map that's separating the aggression of Team Noob. They have to respect this. They have to respect the tower damage here, but they are going to look to dive in anyway, and they're paying for it right now. We do have the nice Crash ult coming in, and that is going to be exactly what they need. Going into capitalizing with the counter shock initiation. They're trying to reverse on this. Nova as well, retreating beautifully here, cutting back behind their towers, and that is shutting down the aggression from Team Noob. They end up taking the tower, but almost losing a couple of heroes for it here as well. That was a beautiful defense from Nova. However, Team Noob with these clutch rotations getting 2 towers for it.
Yeah, Team Noob did an excellent job juggling aggro there, focusing the tower down and then backing off and showing that they are more aggressive, pushing Nova off to defend their tier 2 tower. And Nova not able to secure this kill, even though they had a decent Malik ultimate. Team Noob is so good at jumping in and out. Like, I mean, you saw Vex there. Every time Malik ults, he's able to dodge it and get out of the knock-up, the huge shock knock-up that Malik provides with his ultimate. And then they're continuing to get objectives like they're doing right now, just starving out Nova. And the gold lead is actually not that bad. It's 33 to 28,000. Nova is not that behind. They can come back because Zill now, Crayon has Apocalypse. He has Loki's Curse. He has Enchanted Kicks. So he does do a lot of magic damage, but look at the side of Nova. Noob, they have 3 Medallions of Troyes already, so they have a lot of magic defense against the Tulin and Azil.
That's exactly what I was going to point out here. You called it, as you said in the draft. Medallion of Troy is going to be a huge item pickup here for the side of Team Noob, shutting this down. Restless is going to be feeling it. Zill's going to be feeling it. I mean, Crayon as well. You talk about how important he is, a linchpin for the side of Nova, how much better they play when he is on their roster. But of course, when the item builds come in as thus, it's going to be a little bit difficult for him to try and make those big plays here. Of course, Team Noob is looking to rotate in towards the mid lane as well. Their aggression has been non-stop all game long.
Yeah, look at this rotation here. Vex is not able to get pressure, though. They're trying to split push, but they're not getting pressure on the towers. And Nova is doing a really good job staying together as a 5-man unit to protect their tower. So Team Noob will have to make a decisive and high engage execution here to get a kill underneath the tower. So their goal with a pretty much a dive comp here is to poke with Liliana and get a kill on their tower so they can then take the tower.
That's looking like the play here, but we do have the counter initiation coming in from Y01, only connecting onto the Wonder Woman as iFlex is trying to defend this right now. And Crane, just weaving his way in and out, not able to do that crucial damage though. Coco on that Wonder Woman just doing such a good job being that tanky frontliner, and Nacroft so hard to lock down here. But Nova, we talk about defensive posturing, but at some point, do they need to make a move here? They're just getting slowly beaten down. They're the rock and the wave, the ocean that is Team Noob is slowly chipping away at these defenses.
Yeah, they gotta get a pick when Team Noob dies on their tower later. They gotta get a kill. Once they get a kill, then they can push the aggression and really go hard. Because right now, in a full-on 5v5 team fight, Nova has a really hard time winning unless they can secure and get a kill on Vex or Poseidon right off the bat, and then they can turn that fight and engage around for them.
I think a lot of this comes down to as well is this Crashed. I mean, we looked at it in the draft, we're like, all right, this can work here, because every single time that Nova has tried to find a counter initiation, we've seen just the rolling wave has come on through the tidal wave of defeat for the side of Nova here, which is only going to be further affected by a Darkslayer buff going over the way of Team Noob here. They've done a fantastic job of getting these Darkslayers, knowing exactly when they can pick this up. Zero chance that Nova was going to deny this, so now they have a huge advantage pushing into the mid.
Yeah, I really like the builds coming from Team Noob too. They have 3 people with Spear of Longenius. That means a Crash, a Lubu, and a Nacroft is going to be able to decrease target armor, you know, and if those 3 focus the same target, they're going to do so much more damage because they're going to be able to decrease target armor so quickly and get those 5 stacks that Spear of Longenius does. That allows a lot of that attack damage to go right through. And look at Wonder Woman's build as well. A lot of attack damage on her and health, which allows her to stay in the fight and do more damage. And look at Vex getting a getting a kill onto the 2 lane on the right.
He is, but he's going to get killed for his work, though. However, the main engage is breaking out in the mid as well, as the high ground tower is getting so very low. Poseidon was taking that tower, though, almost falls, but they do get the high ground, and they get 3 kills to boot. This is Team Noob looking beautiful. Sort of jazz hands going on right now. Watch both ways right now, as Nova is in full retreat on the high ground. They're trying to make this beautiful the way the waves are crashing right now, pushing in onto this high ground tower. This is going to be another one falling, and this could very well be the game.
Yeah, this could be the game indeed. And look at the monopoke. They need to get this wave to the core, and everyone focused on the core. However, Lumber comes in the back line and is going to get caught on, get killed, and Crayon is not going to be able to do much. He uses ultimate. It's going to very long cooldown. Look at the burst from Liliana. Oh my goodness.
That is Crayon just getting absolutely chunked as the minions are pushing in here onto the core. And with that, that is going to be GG. Game number 1 is going over to Team Noob. That is them showing dominance here in game number 1.
In the words of Aristotle, you are what you repeatedly do. Excellence, therefore, is not an act, but indeed a habit. Team Noob, perfect representation of Aristotle's quote himself. Every single week they have shown up to play, they have shown up to dominate, and they have shown up for success. Game 1 being a reflection of just that.
Yeah, I'm so impressed with Vex's Nacroft. I don't think he's lost with Nacroft, now that I think about it. He's played it so consistently, knows when to go in, when to go out. He's been dodging a lot of the Malik ultimates. He's kind of predicting his opponent's move and just playing around it and going in at the right time.
I mean, it really just comes down to his ability to, as I said, sort of draw the focus fire of Nova or whatever opponent they're going up against here, because look at this, he only actually died once on that late game split push. Again, as you say, his ability to weave in and out of these fights, constantly being the distraction, well, really in the back, the Liliana's dealing damage. They have the other actual high priority damage dealers that are really putting in that threat. But the Nacroft, when he's in your backline, when he's getting those knockups, you feel like he's the threat. But really, he's just the distraction.
Yeah, and when they killed Poseidon twice, that's when Nova could come back in the game. But once after that, if you can't get onto Poseidon, you can't get on Liliana, she's going to do way too much AoE damage. And that's exactly what happened. You can see Poseidon doing most of the damage. And as a result, you know, Nova just couldn't come back and really, you know, crawl back from their deficit.
Now, I do have to give credit to Nova for the fact that they did not back down on these fights. Anytime there was an opportunity for them to strike back, they did just that. Now, execution of Team Noob clearly being the superior in those fights. However, when you're starting to think about your research, when you're starting to figure out as much data as you can create for yourself coming into the regional finals, you might as well try some different strategies. And so the aggression in these team fights and the willingness to not back down certainly has helped Nova at least create some sort of ground maybe stand on as we get ourselves closer to the regional final.
Yeah, they did. It definitely didn't fall as behind as we've seen them before. I mean, 4K gold lead, at the 10-minute mark is not too bad. However, Team Noob just had way too much objective control. They constantly starved jungle. They took Abyssal Dragons. They took Spirit Sentinels. Nova didn't have a chance to even take as many towers as well. So really good job by Team Noob. Again, they're just out-trading, right? They're out-trading the jungle, out-trading towers.
Yes.
They got 2 towers for 1 tower. I mean, they're doing a really good job of just staying ahead of their competition.
It's the rotations. That is the definition of Team Noob, the why they're always ahead in these games. It's their macro play. You say, well, hey, you got a kill under our tower. That's fine. We're going to take 2. Oh, hey, look, you got a dragon. Oh, we're going to take Dark Slayer. Like, every single time they see an opening on the map, they take it and a little bit more. And that little bit more is what's really separated them as this top-tier team here. And if you're a team looking to improve EUNA, it doesn't matter in the Valor Series. Watch the way they play their macro because it is as close to perfect, usually, as we see.
Well, as teams and players are getting loaded into the lobby for game number 2, we're going to have Nova Esports on the blue side, Team Noob on the red. This is the potentially last game for Nova Esports to create as much data research for them to study coming into the regional finals. So, EJ, what do we expect from them coming into game 2?
Yeah, I would love for them to make sure they protect Sepka, because when Sepka gets ahead, they do really, really well. And that's the key to Nova. Like, their side laners are the ones that really able to push it. And then Crayon then excels and comes in and helps him. So I think they need to make sure Sepka is on a hero that can push really solid and support him, but they always take Omen away from him, and that's a hero that Sepka excels really well on. So I'd love to see Sepka try out and make sure he gets a Ryoma or Lubu or something and really shine that side lane.
I agree 100%. He's really one of the linchpins for this composition here. I mean, when he gets ahead, when he gets fed, I mean, he's a monster in these fights. And his Kilgroth, we've seen it dismantle lower-seeded teams. We've seen him just go in, Gore Lord all the way. We've just seen him go all in on these compositions. We just whack, whack, whack away with that spear, but he just felt like a jellyfish in that last game.
He got dumped on 3 to 4 people ganking him, securing the kill, and Kilgroth was never able to do what he's known for, is to push the side lane, get towers, steal jungle, and so on. And look at the teaming being picked up here by Nova. Ooh, they're gonna go for Alice instead? It's a little risky because Teamy is a tier S support. So let's see if they're going to select the Teamy or they're going to go to Liliana first pick.
Prefer the Liliana over the Teamy. We've seen both of these back and forth, but this puts Noob not only having the first pick that they had in game number 1, but also the Teamy in their hands, Wonder Woman, and that Teamy being the immediate lock-in for Team Noob.
Teamy has one of the highest win rates, hero-wise, in the Valor Series. He is such, in the right hands, this hero is incredibly strong. The speed, the rotations, the stuns, the AoE, the ability to save teammates or himself at crucial times just allows you to play even more aggressive here. However, Lubu, Malik, you want to talk about aggression with a Liliana to boot? That is an aggressive composition from Nova.
Yeah, but they can also... Oh, no one's picking up Zenio here. Interesting. So they're going to go with Preda and Kilgroth here, because Kilgroth is really strong in side lane. You want to get a strong side laner to face against Lubu. And with the Wonder Woman as well. But if Kilgroth and a Wonder Woman face against a Malik, they can actually beat and outpush a Malik if played correctly here. So that's a really good side lane matchup so far for Team Noob.
Astrid's the hover here. Don't expect that to actually go through. Lumbar being a little bit more accurate. And then the Zill. So a slightly similar composition that Nova Esports is pulling from Team Noob. In the last one, you've got double AP here for the side of Nova.
Yeah, double ability damage, magic, lots of magic damage there. So again, Team Noob's going to rush those Medallions of Troyes again and get 4 people on it. And the Croth is going to run around their jungle with the Kilgroth too. That looks really scary.
Their early game pressure coming out. Like, once they hit level 4, this team is going to be scary. Is it going to be enough?
Wait, how'd that go again?
It's going to be scary?
No, it was the tone.
It's gonna be
You trying to like
scary.
You trying to like change your voice on me or something like that?
No, not at all.
No?
No, that's just normal.
You sure?
Yep.
Is this your real voice or is this your real voice? I don't know. I'm not gonna. No? Okay.
Don't call me out on it. Jesus, man. It's a good composition, all right? If they play well, it's gonna do good. Okay.
It's not a good composition. It's a scary composition.
It is.
Nova Esports and Team Noob have locked in their picks, but as they get loaded onto the battlefield, we do have to remind you that while today is the last day of the regular season for the Valor Series, E3 is going to be coming up right around the corner, less than a month away, and you have an opportunity at all times to catch up on every single day of the broadcast. Make sure you head on over to youtube.com/Valor Series. That way you can get all of the match VODs, highlights, and all sorts of other exclusive content, top plays. We've got Caster School that's going to be coming up very shortly, so make sure you tune in to the end of the broadcast for that. But game number 2, gentlemen, is underway. They are loaded onto the battlefield. Nova has one more game potentially of download, but they could potentially send it to a game number 3 here in our first semifinal of week number 6.
Let's see if Nova can make it happen here. They have secured their spot at E3, so this is mostly for bragging rights and try and put some fear into the side of Team Noob. However, Suijay, I don't think that's super likely.
Yeah, not likely, but this is their chance. I mean, they can work on some solid rotations, and this is the best practice they're going to get because this is on stage live in the Valor Series here. So they got to show that they have the potential to really upset Team Noob here, and they got to give it all they got and make sure that Team Noob does not do what they did in Game 1 to them, which was snowball them and steal their jungle, take objectives, and secure the game.
Well, I have to say Nova has done a much better job this time of sort of shutting down whatever aggression Team Noob may be bringing out. But I have to say, Team Noob is also so good at that. They never sort of push in the same way twice. They always mix it up here in these rotations, allowing Nova to actually get access to their jungle as well. So no one really hard committing on a solid, one of those really aggressive 4-man rotations here. But in the end, it is going to be both these teams fighting out over a Seagull.
Yeah, what a nice steal there by iFlex. He gets to secure the Seagull. That's huge because although it's a Seagull, it gives 75 gold when you take it. So once you start stacking those one by one, it's going to allow the side laner to get slightly ahead of their opponent's side laner. It also gives a nice chunk of experience, too.
It's definitely going to add up here if you can start to consistently get those over time, but we'll see how these teams start to prioritize those, especially for this vision going in now, as we do see Nova in full retreat here in the top lane. Speaking of rotations, Vex is going in, however, Cram with the defense here. Vex may have stepped too far forward, but that is the team he's trading out blood right now, as 0-9 is going in here, trying to get himself out there. So we flick over the wall. Crane's going to try and chase him, though, but he is going to drop. Nicely done there from Crane, and Sevka is going to live, so a positive trade here for Nova. However, Coco is in real deep.
Yeah, he's very deep. He's going to fall here as well. What a nice play there. I mean, Vex did such a good job getting the Croth in there, getting double knockup, but they're not able to secure the kill. As a result of being bloodthirsty and trying to dive under a tower, they put themselves a little opposition. Cran comes in, cleans up, gets the kill on Vex, and now Zill is looking really good this game. 2 kills, 1.6 gold. That's going to allow him to really scale and do the damage that we see a lot of Zill players get in jungle.
It's interesting, though, because we look at this, and hold on, I'll hold this thought here for a second, as 0-7 is going to drop in the bottom lane as well. That is 4 kills to 1 to start things off from Nova. Nicely done from them here in game number 2, showing that, hey, we can sort of compartmentalize game number 1, we can put that away, come out swinging here in game number 2. But it's sort of interesting because Team Noob, they're making decisions that we don't normally see from them. And I wonder how much of this is just like, it's week 6, we're feeling good, let's just have a little bit of fun. Do you think they're playing as necessarily as clean as we're used to seeing from them? Or is this Nova forcing mistakes?
Yeah, I think this is Nova taking advantage of the over-aggression from Team Noob. I mean, diving under tower like that, not securing the kill, and risking it, and Coco's kind of hanging around still and giving another kill over. That's a little bit uncharacteristic for Team Noob to give away that many deaths this early in the game, and when that happens, it's never a good look for them. However, they're not falling that behind in gold. It's only a 1k gold difference at the 3.5 minute mark, so it's going to really decide the outcome of the match. The rest of the match here is how they rotate and how they're going to be able to stay on top of the farm.
Well, it's interesting because we talk about these rotations, and it's still Team Noob being the aggressors. Nova has not yet really been the aggressors at all in this matchup. It's just been Team Noob stepping a little bit too far, and Nova being able to take advantage of that, as you said. So it's interesting because Nova's in a great lead here, but it's not really of their own doing. It's Team Noob's errors being, used against them.
Yeah, exactly. And Team Noob is still the one, like you called it perfectly, they're the ones invading jungle and stealing it. That's exactly what Necroth wants to do. And if Vex continues to do that and catches up here, because right now he's at 2k to Zill's 2.4k. If he doesn't fall that behind, Necroth can still do a lot of work. And look at this. Look at this rotation by Nova here, looking for a kill, but Coco already sniffs them out.
Oh yeah, that's really nice game sense here coming in, but now Teamy just gonna be able to pooty poots himself right on out of there as well. And of course, the threat that Teamy is always going to be here there because of course, you know, that AoE stun, you can, especially when that max charge, like you need to respect that right there because it is gonna put a serious dent in your plans.
Yeah, look at this nice jungle rotation by Nova there. They get in, but Vex still takes it away. This guy and his punish mechanics are just insane. You cannot steal a jungle camp from this guy.
Oh yeah, his timing is actually silly. It's ridiculous. He just knows at that exact moment going in, he's able to get that time and time again. But we look now, and here we haven't really talked about very much so far, is his Preda, and that is Poseidon. He's just kind of been chilling in the mid lane so far, not doing anything crazy, but late game Preda, we have to talk about the potency of that hero.
Yeah, late game Preda is going to do so much work, and Poseidon actually is probably one of the best Predas in EU. So we're going to look for how much damage he's going to be able to put out based on his ability combos there that he can use with his Plague Spectre and Poison Gas Bomb. But one thing is Sepka is winning his lane here against Coco. And as a result, it's looking really solid for now. We know that when Sepka does really well in side lane, Nova excels a lot better and performs much better when that happens.
And it's interesting because it feels like Team Noob realized that in game number 1. They were constantly rotating, constantly trying to shut him down, but it feels like maybe they got a little gun shy here in game number 2. They tried it once, got taken advantage of, and now they're just letting him do his job, and now he's winning this lane matchup. And now we see Vex being the target here as they have hyper-aggression going in, not quite able to secure that kill. 0-9 with the peel, and Crane needs to be careful. There's the stun. Zill, but the Wonder Woman on the rotation as well. Not able to find that. That was actually a crucial misstep. They're going to get the kill anyway, though. The Chalk out there in time. Rest is now being the target in the Fox from trying to re-engage on the back of that. But no, Team Noob is able to pick up those nice 2 kills here. So Nova, that was their chance to feel a little bit overconfident. Dragon into rotation.
Yeah, that was a little over-aggressive. They kind of pulled what Team Noob tried to do to shut down Sepka early there. Team Noob over-aggressed in top lane, and they did the exact same thing in jungle here. They tried to get on Vex, had a nice rotation, couldn't kill him, but they need to back off a little sooner. But look at this rotation from Team Noob here. Now they're getting the Vets right back in their favor, and now they're even with just literally 30 seconds, and they get back even.
I talked about this when we introduced the team. It's Team Noob's ability to just flip the switch. Their ability to just say, all right, now is when we can fight. Let's go. Their ability to identify their own team's power spikes and capitalize on the timing windows of their opponents. That was it. As you said, within the course of 30 seconds, Nova gets a dragon, and then everything falls apart. One overextension, Team Noob capitalizes, get a beautiful counter rotation, and they are back in this game. They're actually ahead in terms of gold. They take a tower in the top lane, tower gone in the bottom lane. Suddenly, Team Noob's in the lead.
Yeah, they just are ahead on the objective game now. With 2 towers being taken out, Nova not able to convert their lead that they had to any towers is really tough for them now. Because with towers gone, the map is now open to Team Noob on Dragon and Slayer side. So both sides are a little risk. And look at this dive in 0-9 here.
But he's a teammate, so yeah, you're good.
Yeah, he's going to be good. Not able to use his ultimate there. But Coco trying to 1v1 Sepka here. That is going to put him in danger.
Oh, that Red Stallion actually didn't connect. He didn't get the knock up. Oh, that was actually huge there. One missed skill shot there coming in there from Sepka as actually allowing Coco to live just a little bit longer. Crane's going to try and get this kill, but no. That is huge. You cannot miss any abilities against Team Noob.
Yeah, you cannot. And Crayon there, Coco just understanding Zill. Zill's ultimate, this tornado, has a very short range, so you need to cast it immediately when you get onto the kill grab. But Coco, with excellent positioning, was able to get to safety because one ult from Zill would have instantly killed him because all that damage would have gone onto Kilgroth, and that would have been a kill and then a potential tower. But Coco got away just in time.
Knowing exactly how far he could push his hero at this stage in the game, and that is huge. And now we have the more items coming online for the side of Team Noob. Medallions of Troy already lining up here as well, so that is exactly what they need to be doing here at this stage, just shutting down Crayon, shutting down Restless, and that is a huge priority for the side of Noob moving into this mid-game, but it is still only 4 kills to 4, less than a 1k gold difference right now, so this is still a pretty even game.
Yeah, it is. The key is how Team Noob and Nova are going to be able to win the next fight. So engages are really important here. They gotta go in. You look at side of Nova, they got a Lubu, they have the Red Stallion knockup, they have a Lumber Earth Splitter knockup, they have the burst from both the Zill and the Liliana, and the only person that has Medallion of Troy on Noob is Wonder Woman. So if they can focus down the Kroth, or they can kill the Kilgroth, then Nova has a really good chance of winning and turning these fights around in their favor.
That's really what they're going to be looking for here is the braceless submission going in. Restless able to get himself over the wall, but that is now Y01 stepping really far forward, trying to peel for his team. We have the re-engage going in from Crayon. Nice damage split. The Praedel not being able to connect with anyone really though here, as we now have the side of Team Noob in full retreat. Crayon is there on the back line. The heal, or the being a bro is there, but it is not going to quite be enough. We do have the kills coming in. A nice fight from Team Noob, able to put them up beautifully, but now Vex has joined the fray, and they're going in.
Yeah, what a nice play by Crayon there. He's able to get his Wind Blades, hit this unit, jump in with Wind Ship, do a lot of damage, and then save his ultimate. Once he got to the back line to secure the kill on Poseidon there, and once he killed Poseidon, it got in his favor, but Vex comes back, comes in the back line, secures kills himself as well, and then wins the fight for Team Noob. And look at Crayon, he's in a really tough spot against Vex here.
Oh, Crayon, good night, sweet prince, as that is Vex going to look to go in and take him down. Almost being able to do it there was Crayon, but just not quite enough. The HP was just not in his favor there. So now we have Team Noob turning what looked like an amazing fight from Nova on its head.
Yeah, Vex just knows where to come in. He just comes at the right time. He was able to secure the kill on Lubu, the heroes who were low in that fight, and it turned that around. And as a result, Nova needed to back off because Crayon already uses ult onto Poseidon, and because Zil, when he uses ultimate, he doesn't have his main damage source, and he has to run away. He has to wait for that cooldown to come back and then try to face Vex. But even with his ultimate, Vex was able to secure the kill on him. And you can see why the farm matters, the item damage matters, and the levels matter. And Vex, with where he's at right now, 6.6k to 5.4k, again, the Croft in the lead.
It's just really all about buttering up the side of Nova here. Team Noob trading very much negatively in that fight, but it was a 5v4 then when Vex joins in, able to just pick up all those low health targets. So yeah, Team Noob looking like they were in a rough position, but able to recover beautifully here. And now they are ahead almost exactly 3k gold here as we look towards the Darkslayer here in the top lane.
Yeah, the Darkslayer is going to be a key objective now since we're in the late game, and the team that takes it is going to be able to push down a lot more towers and also, more importantly, farm jungle. So if Nova's able to get this Darkslayer, they can use that to catch up and farm, you know, farm the jungle, get 2 or 3 towers, and put themselves back into the lead, hopefully.
I would say that Nova has to get this Darkslayer. They need to get this on the map right now because the way Team Noob is looking moving into this mid to late game, they are not going to stop. We call them the Juggernaut of EU for a reason. Once they get rolling, they are so hard to take down. Stopping that momentum is near impossible. So there's a chance Nova needs to do it right now, but Sevka needs to be cautious down here in the bottom lane. Nice job dodging some of those abilities, but the tower does fall.
Yeah, and if you look at Nova too, they don't have as much damage or pierce. You know, Enchanted Kicks on Zil, yes, it's good, but look at the Medallion Troy, and look at it, the damage is just not coming out. As a result, 0-7 secures the kill on Crayon, and Team Noob looks like they're going to turn this fight around in their favor.
They are now in full retreat. The lasso going in, 0-9 and crew Poseidon in the back just consistently with those placebacks, just getting the damage. Restless able to escape. He is on that hyper-mobile Liliana, but the minion wave is crashing in here in the bot lane. 0-7 needs to be cautious there. The braceless mission, the stun, but the follow-up, he's really just getting that shield onto his teammates. That is crucial, but iFlex needs to be careful. They're stepping forward. The Pooty Poot's not going to connect, but nice job clearing out that minion wave, and the high ground tower still does stand.
Yeah, the high ground tower still does stand, but really nice turnaround by Team Noob. Again, Wonder Woman doing so much work there, landing so many skill shots, using the execute. I mean, 0-7 is doing exactly what he needs to do with Wonder Woman, is to engage, initiate, and look at this pick here. Y01 is in a very rough spot.
Oh, that was not the bush, dear friend, walking in to no man's land and finding himself just gone. Coco, though, needs to be careful because Crayon is trying to take him down, but just doesn't have that. Oh, I spoke too soon, committing the shock. And that is going to be the beautiful pickup there on to the member of Team Noob. That was what Nova needed to do because that will shut down their aggression for a bit.
That's the combo that they need to do. Restless with the Liliana, landing that Binding Light and Shining Light burst onto Kilgrad, and because he was stunned, Malik comes in, iFlex drops the shock ultimate, gets the knock-up, and secures the kill. If they can do this and combo their ultimates like this, their CC, because they have 4 heroes that can CC Team Noob. They have a Lubu, a Lumber, a Liliana, and a Malik. Nova still has the chance to come back in this game. However, their lead keeps getting smaller. I mean, their deficit keeps getting bigger and bigger. It's a 6K gold lead for Team Noob now. So Nova definitely needs to respond and win the next fight here.
They need to right now as they're going in. 0-9 is going to be the target, but look at how tanky this team is at this stage here. He's still surviving for so long. Look at the being a bro off, so he will respawn here. Will he be able to get himself out? That is the question now. They're focusing down beautifully. He's going to drop, but now Team Noob is looking to re-engage her as well, taking so much damage from Poseidon as well, but it is Coco just dishing so much hurt, and that is the side of Nova getting ripped apart here as well. Look at 0-7 here on this Wonder Woman, able to split the team beautifully now, and all the while Vex is just dishing that damage.
Oh my god, even though Nova had a nice engage, they're able to kill the teammate first, make 0-9 waste his being a bro ultimate on himself and to revive himself, get the kill on Timmy. They bunched up. They allow Coco to get maximum value from that AoE and that attack speed that he has. Look at his items. He has a Fafnir's Talent. He has Crushing Wind. He has so much attack speed and damage that he was able to clean up and get everyone so low for Vex to just come in and clean house.
That was really what that was all about. And look at how nimble Vex is able to just completely traverse the side of the base of Nova in an instant here. But we talk about the combo. We talk about the wombo potential coming in from Nova. When you have a Shock and an Earth Splitter and a Red Stallion and a Blinding Light, you have all of the ability to just, in an area, annihilate an entire opposing team, but we haven't seen the stun lock come out yet from them. They need to make that happen here, but 0-7 is going in really deep. He's found the entire side of Nova, so I guess you don't need to wombo when Team Noob just walks in.
Yeah, a little too overconfident there as Wonder Woman, thinking the Amazonian Princess can be able to take on a 1v4, and it does not work out for 0-7.
Yeah, he is going to be getting back there with the Being a Bro and the Ancestral Glory. 3 lives, not enough lives, though. She's basically immortal, not quite that immortal.
Yeah, with Vex's items, too, he has Medallion of Troy now, and he has a lot of damage. He has Fenrir's Tooth. That's going to do much more damage once his opponents are below 50% health. And the thing about Nakroth that makes him so nimble is because his abilities, Judge Fury and Death Sentence, are gap closers, and they're on 5-second or less cooldowns, both abilities. So this is why you see Vex literally dancing all over the map, dodging abilities, farming jungle. This is what makes Nakroth shine so much, and to see someone like Vex play him this proficiently is such a joy to watch. Look at his gold lead. He's at 12K gold lead already over everyone else in the game. So they need to secure the game here because everyone is max items. Team Noob is reaching max items, and they got to secure the game before Liliana gets her items, and then Zeo gets his items, and that's going to be more of an equal matchup.
Team Noob has reached critical mass as they are pushing in onto this final high ground tower. Vex as well, putting the pressure on all sides. The split pushes here as they're going in. There's the Pooty Poots, the follow-up, the damage from Poseidon. The Earth Splitter only connecting onto 1. They needed to try and line up that CC because look at how low. They're already getting chunked. This high ground tower is slowly starting to get whittled down, but Team Noob constantly forcing back the side of Nova. Look at the way they're able to make these minion waves come in parallel, in unison, as they're pushing it all the way across the map. Nova has to respond, but that, of course, creates openings.
Yeah, look at the Wonder Woman. 0-7 is pushing the bottom lane. That some minions are going to come in. They might be able to get this mid-ground tower, but Nova is staying together as 5 here, doing so much work, so much damage, and they go in for the fight.
That is a big 3-man stone, though, coming in from the team with the Shock. Not really getting the value as Vex is in the flank as well. Look at the side of Nova just getting chunked down, but they are able to pick up Coco. He's stepping in really too far as we do have that damage coming in. They're able to sustain through it with that being a bro. 0-9 able to get himself out, and the high ground tower survives, and it is now 0-7 chasing in onto Crayon, so that is actually going to be big, not securing that kill there as well. That was a good defense there from Nova, able to hold on. If they can pick up some more kills, that could be huge.
Yeah, look at Vex just jumping around. In that last fight, if he got the kill on Restless, it could have turned around. Vex was trying to go on the back line and get onto Restless, but Liliana was able to use her transformation to get away to safety because he was literally 1 or 2 hits away from dying. So Vex trying to play that backline hero, but the Kilgroth Coco went in too deep and was killed first, and then Poseidon falls, and as a result, that dive from Team Noob just did not work out.
That's what I was going to say. It really comes down to Coco there. That's really the big factor here, is the fact that this Kilgroth is surviving, and now we see the combo coming out here once again. Team Noob, they are just overstepping here in this mid game. They are allowing Nova to find something here, though they don't actually. Wait, hang on. That was beautifully done from Team Noob, able to kind of get themselves out of that, but now 0-7 is in here deep on the flank, and Vex as well. They're looking for Restless. Need to be careful. This fight is going all over the place right now.
Yeah, this is not what Team Noob wants. Look at the items now. Zil has 5 items, 5 tier 3 items, and Liliana has 5 tier 3 items. She has a Staff of Noah, gives her some of the magic pierce. Hikate's Zero, more pierce. So now Liliana and Zero are fully online. Even though you have Medallion of Troy, that pierce is going to help a lot. But Crane is in a really rough position right now.
Oh, but he's actually able to take down Poseidon for his work. He will trade out, though. So that might have actually been huge there. Will Nova decide to take this fight? They're getting 2 with the knockback, but it is 0-7 now in the back line, looking for Sepka and Restless as well. Restless is trying to survive. He's going to be the primary target for the side of Team Noob. He's trying to back out. The Reki shot's there, but no, he is going to fall nicely down. The side of Team Noob is able to identify those key targets. Now it's iFlux, though, trying to sustain through all this as well. Team Noob is getting very low, 0-7 sustaining, but we have the Being a Pro coming in. It's going to be activated. I'm not quite sure. Yes, they are able to get that off, and it is going to be Team Noob sustaining through all this as well. Beautifully done. Juggling that CC, juggling that aggro. That is Team Noob going off in that fight.
Yeah, what a nice focus here from Vex and Coco, and the Ancestral Glory is just saving them, knowing that they have it, committing to the fight and not backing off. The focus from Vex and Coco has been a joy to watch the past weeks, and as a result, they're going to take this win.
A beautiful final fight there from Team Noob, and with that, they take the victory. They will advance to our grand finals. Beautifully done there for the side of Team Noob.
Pleasure in the job puts perfection in the work. Aristotle quoting that, if you have pleasure in what you do, perfection is soon to follow. Every step of the way over the course of the last 6 weeks, Team Noob has shown so much excellence, so much perfection in what they do. It's happy to say that they're happy being on top. They walk away with a 2-0 victory, and more importantly, a 6th straight berth into the finals.
Yeah, that was such a fun game to watch because Team Noob went over aggressive in early game. Nova got 4 kills over them, right? Got the lead, and then Nova pulls the same thing. Gets a little over aggressive in Team Noob's jungle, and the lead then switched right back. So just shows you the skill matchup of both these teams. But in the end, it was really the power of Team Noob that came through here.
Oh yeah, and you can see Coco with 4 deaths. Like, they identified on the side of Nova that he was someone they needed to kill, and he was allowing them to do that by stepping really far forward here. However, it was the ability for Noob to find the little things in those fights. Every single time I thought that Nova was going to take them, like, oh no, that Being a Bro gets off. The stun comes in, somehow they find it. Wonder Woman was there, the shield she was able to offer, the braces of submission every single time were always on point. And I never felt like Nova was able to line up all of the chain CC, Earth Splitter, into shock, everything. They were never, like, you have the ability to perma-stun all of the opposing team for like 5 straight seconds, and we never saw it. How much of that's Team Noob just being amazing, and how much of that's Nova just not quite being there?
I think a huge credit of that is the perfection of Team Noob in these extended team fights. When there are situations in the game where Team Noob has these battles back and forth, their synergy and an experience as a unit is what puts them out on top.
Yeah, definitely. And Crayon actually played Zill really well. He's able to get the 3 marks onto the opponent and then use ultimate here. This is where you see he's going to jump in the backline. Watch what Crayon does here. He's going to be able to jump in the backline and get onto Poseidon because that's his goal. He lands a win mark, gets onto them, and look at the damage. He's going to come in the backline and use his ultimate there to secure some key kills. And look at the Malik. Shot comes down. He then uses ultimate at the right moment. Look at Poseidon's health bar. It's going to decrease so fast, and as a result, get the kill. But then Vex comes in and secures some key kills on to Sepka and Restless here. Look at that. 1v2 goes in with the knockups. Double knockup. I mean, Vex is carrying and doing so well to clean up these fights.
It really comes down to Nova tunnel visioning really hard in these fights, where it feels like Team Noob is able to see the bigger picture. These fights are, again, they're becoming very sprawling, very drawn out. They're all over the place. I feel bad for our observers trying to keep an eye on this because they're just going crazy. But Team Noob seems to be able to keep their cool, where Nova, it's sort of like, we focus on this one person, and then we have to kill this person, whereas Team Noob is able to, like, all right, we're going to take out this as a duo. All right, we're going to have Vex in the back line here. Okay, you're going to be peeling here as well. The teamy play. I don't think he missed a Being a Bro the entire game. That's really impressive.
Teamy's mechanical prowess by the support specifically of Team Noob was fantastic, but our MVP is going to go to the man that has carried every single week, Vex on that Nacroth, playing the Cybercore Nacroth that I know every Arena of Valor fan is super excited to see in the game now, and his ability to shot call in the team fights, but more importantly, track the enemy junglers and know precisely where they are at any point in the game is why we see him in the MVP position.
Yeah, his ability to go in at the right moment and just clean up the fights, go all over the jungles, take farms, secure objectives. I mean, this guy is the punish timing master. The master of the punish timing. I mean, this guy, the farm lead every game on the crowd. Even when they were behind the early game, he's able to come back and get back the lead. That's insane.
Watch his routes. His routes in the jungle, you want to talk about how you jungle here, his timings are impeccable. Just able to shave those few seconds off, and it just starts to add up. You watch the way, I really want to see how his Arcana page is laid out, because his early game is super impressive.
Yeah, definitely.
And so with that, the semifinals have concluded. Team Noob taking a decisive 2-0 victory over Nova Esports. We will see a rematch of that coming into E3 as they have secured themselves the #1 and #4 seed. Now, over in the relegation bracket, unfortunately, Royal was unable to field themselves a roster. Arctic Gaming securing that berth, so they'll get them a little bit of some extra points as we get the final standings sort of situated. Team Queso and Spanish Takers will play later today, but the matchup of the day, because this will decide the #2 and the #3 seed, Vitality versus For the Dream.
Yeah, this is the match I'm so excited about for EU.
Oh, yeah.
Because
Oh, yeah.
the winning team gets that second place, and that's what you want to get a better seed. And because of, and it's also a pride thing too. I mean, 2 and 3 are going to face each other in playoffs, but this is kind of a mental pride thing, because if you beat your opponent, that gives you much more confidence leading to the playoffs.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, again, it's really going to sort of say, you know, what team is going to walk out of this and going to practice for the next few weeks, having that, you know, the chip on the shoulder. Oh, damn, we lost that. And which one's going to come out of that saying like, yeah, we did that. You know what I mean? So it's really going to come down to sort of the state of their mindset, the mentality moving forward. And also, of course, that seeding is super important.
Well, spoiler alert, between now and E3, there is going to be all sorts of discussion surrounding the top 4 teams for both Europe and North America. All 3 of us are going to be included in that discussion. And where will that discussion happen? Your favorite place for everything Arena of Valor related, and that is the Arena of Valor subreddit. You go to reddit.com/r/Arena of Valor. We've already had post-match discussions happening each and every week, but with the off time, I know myself and these 2 fine gentlemen here are going to be starting up some fun discussions, some stat swapping, as well as a couple other little tidbits to get you guys excited for E3. So make sure you head on over there and get yourself a username. If you don't, I feel like it's in 2018, you know, previous years, it was, all right, I need to make a Facebook, I need to make a Twitter. Today, it's, all right, I need a Reddit account. I gotta have something situated there. But we're going to take ourselves a little bit of a break, but before we get to that, we want to check in with iFlex, who has some answers to the questions that you guys tallied together for him a couple weeks ago.
Yo, what's up guys? I'm iFlex and I will be answering some questions for you today that you asked in last stream. So I will shortly introduce myself. I'm iFlex, I'm playing for Nova Esports as a pro player, and I'm also an influencer on YouTube. And I have a YouTube channel with 400,000 subscribers, and I'm playing AoV mostly, so I will be answering some questions. So the big difference is the game vision. Pros have so much more game knowledge, game vision, a deeper understanding of the game than people who are just Conqueror or Master, because they know how to climb in solo queue, they know how to get yourself fed, but on the team basis they are lacking a lot of stuff, and I think that's the biggest difference between real pros and high-ranked people. So a really good strategy to improve your mechanics is just going into the 1v1 situation for the laning, and you can practice what hero you want against a lot of different bunch of heroes, and you can just practice your mechanics in 1v1. Although if you want to practice your team fighter mechanics, which is also really important, you just need to play ranked or even standard match if you're just trying out new heroes. Last Wednesday, Vex was playing Toro, as you see. It was a troll though, because they were not played for sure like in a real tournament. So will we ever see Toro in a professional match? I don't think so, unless he gets a huge buff, because at the moment he's pretty much the most useless hero at the game. At the moment, I think everyone can agree Team Noob is looking really solid. They won 5 weeks in a row, and maybe this week they will get the 6th, but we are not allowing this because we will hope to win against Team Noob this week and break their victory streak. So my goals is just to become strong with Nova, going to E3 as we already qualified, and we will try to dominate at E3 and be hoping to be the best at E3 and go to Worlds, because that would be the dream, that would be the future for us, and after that we can just snowball, keep practicing, keep winning, and that's the dream and the future for our team. So guys, that are the questions I answered for you guys. I hope you learned something and understand something about me. So guys, I hope you enjoy the rest of the tournament and see you guys next time. Peace.
Welcome to the Hero Spotlight for Lindis, the Sentinel. Lindis is a powerful marksman who excels in bursting down her enemies. Although she doesn't have any dash ability, her mobility will get boosted while she's passing through the brush. Lindis' second ability, Entrapment, can help her reveal enemies who are trying to sneak attack. Want to assassinate Lindis? Not so easy. Passive, Tread Softly. When Lindis passes through the brush, she will increase her movement speed and strengthen her next normal attack for a short period of time. The strengthened attack will fire 2 arrows with each arrow dealing physical damage, 4-second cooldown. As a good Lindis player, you should make the most of the benefits from fighting in the brush. Use the extra mobility and damage as an edge to prevail in battles. The same works for clearing monsters. The extra speed and damage can make it much more efficient, letting Lindis to grow faster in the early game. First ability, Piercing Gaze. Lindis illuminates the area around her and reveals the location of nearby enemy heroes for 5 seconds. This ability can be stored 2 times. After learning this ability, when Lindis hits the same enemy 3 times, the target will suffer an additional physical damage. Piercing Gaze can be used to discover enemy heroes in stealth mode, such as Batman. When entering unknown territory, Lindis can release Piercing Gaze in advance to view her surroundings to avoid a possible gank from the enemy. Second ability, Entrapment. Lindis sets a trap that lasts for 2 minutes. The trap will slow enemy movement speed by 30%, reveal enemy locations, and after a short while, deal physical damage. Lindis can store and set up to 2 traps. Traps will become invisible 2 seconds after being set. While landing, Lindis can cast Entrapment into the river and brush. This will give her better vision and can discover enemies' attack in advance. Ultimate Lunar Champion. Lindis calls forth a spirit to attack enemies, dealing physical damage and adding any bonus normal attack effects from equipped items or buffs. She can store this ability up to 5 times. The ultimate is Lindis' main ability to deal damage. Since it can also trigger a critical hit, here we recommend to equip items that can boost critical chance to help maximize the Lunar Champion's damage output. When playing Lindis, here are some things to remember. 1. Lindis has many ways to combo skills together. One of the common combo is to use the first ability, Piercing Gaze, to reveal opponent's position. Follow it up by second ability, lay Entrapment right underneath enemy target, then use the ultimate, Lunar Champion, and normal attacks to finish off the enemy. Combo sequence is 1 + 2 + A + ultimate. Don't panic when enemy is attacking. Lindis can first run into brush, then lay second ability underneath enemy to slow him. This will lead Lindis to a successful escape. 2. Lindis' first ability, Piercing, can deal extra damage when hitting the same target twice. Thus, try not to change the target while Piercing is activated. 3. Lindis doesn't have any dash ability. She can easily get killed by warrior or assassin. Thus, it's better to take Flicker as Summoner's talent, which can boost her mobility and help her survive longer in the game. 4. Lindis can use normal attack to kite enemy while moving, especially after obtaining Might Golem. Then she can use her ultimate to cancel normal attack's ending move, save a bit more time, and follow it up with normal attack again. Thanks for watching today's Hero Spotlight on Lindis. See you on the battlefield.
Would you believe in what you believe in if you were the only one who believed it? That is not an Aristotle quote. That is, in fact, a quote of Kanye West. So everything sort of philosophical today. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Intel Esports Arena, where we just saw Team Noob secure themselves a stunning 2-0 victory over Nova Esports. My name is Jumped. I've got Sui J and Envirum. Gentlemen, we have the matchup of the day, the decider match for the #2 seed in Europe, Vitality versus For the Dream.
Yeah, this is the matchup in the EU that I am so excited about because For the Dream has been on a tear lately.
Oh, yes.
And Vitality, they lost the game of Spanish Takers. So we are going to see which team is truly the stronger and true #2 seed here, and that's what they're fighting for.
It's so funny because, like, I watched Spanish Takers play in some of the Go 4 Cups. I was like, this is actually a pretty good team. And they come in and I'm like, guys, like, watch, like, this is going to be a good series. And they're like, okay. And then they go in and they take the game out of Vitality. I'm like, and then Vitality turned it around. But either way, still, you're right. Vitality have definitely, they came out strong, in the earlier weeks. They were really impressive. But I feel like it's less that they've gotten worse and more that just everyone else has caught up. I feel like other teams are getting better here. And I feel like For the Dream, a team we had sort of mixed expectations for coming in, they found their footing now, and they're looking really strong.
And for those of you that are wondering, 2-3 slot is locked in by both Vitality and For the Dream. The winner secures #2 seed. What does that mean for the regional finals themselves happening next month? It's side preference. You have blue side, you have red side, which in the pick ban phase is a vast difference of strategy. And so both of these teams wanting that #2 seed to have the blue side preference for both of those games. So something to keep in mind of as we come into this. But let's talk about Vitality first. They're currently the #2 seed. They have been, by and large, the most improved team of the Valor Series Europe, but fell to For the Dream last week.
Yeah, and there's something that they're trying different things, So Taro jungling on Batman. They're not winning their early game when they play competitions that they need to win early game in. They're more a defensive, opportunistic team. They wait for their opponents to make huge mistakes, and they capitalize on it perfectly. But Moon, we have seen it been going off on L'Oreal here. So I feel like as long as they get a solid draft and they play to their comp's wins, and it has to be a more mid-game, late-game drafts, because early game drafts, they don't really take advantage of it as well, and as a result, they could, fall behind.
Sudaro, Moon, Flo, Azur, and King. Now, Flo substituting in for Ika this match. King back in the lineup. He was in the lineup last week, but took himself a couple weeks off. And so, while they've secured themselves a spot at E3, yes, the #2 spot is on the line, but these are still opportunities to have some different permutations of composition for their roster to help maybe make something sort of a advantageous position for substitution opportunities coming into the regional finals.
King has had some of the best Wonder Woman play we've seen in EU. And he's also had some of the not best play we've seen from some of that side lane positions. When the guy is going off, he is doing work. But I think really it comes down to this team. It's Azur and it's Moon. This is the base. This is the fundamental here. If they can build upon that, if they can work around that, the mid, the support, if they can find that and allow that to really sort of build off and sort of empower the rest of their squad, that's when they find success. But if you can shut down Azur, you can shut down Moon, that's how you win the game.
The funny too on Wednesday against Spanish Takers, King was on Malik and Ika was on Wonder Woman, and they executed some nasty combos. I mean, that's a team that we can watch too in terms of their synergy. But I agree, Moon is the kind of the cornerstone of that team, and with Azur and Moon playing well together, that's going to allow the side laners to really excel.
Well, we've talked all that we have to say about Vitality. Let's take a look at their opponent, For the Dream. Now, For the Dream coming in as a #2 seed throughout the for the majority of the Valor Series, find themselves in the 3rd spot, and all is on the line if they want #2.
Yeah, Team Queso made a few mistakes there. Let me look at my notes real quick. Oh, you gave Omen to Rain. And Arena of Violet got Violet. But also, not only that, Arena of Violet can also play Zephyrs, which was something that we didn't see Arena of Violet play a lot of because he's so well known on the ADC. And look at that perfect skill shotting. I mean, Arena of Violet is just really good at understanding his hero and landing some massive skill shots.
Is it worse to give Arena of Violet, or is it worse to give Shurko Tulin?
Wow. I would not want to be in that scenario.
Don't do both, which is what we saw there.
This is the first time in 6 weeks. We've had 12 broadcasts of the Valor Series where one of us posed Suijay a question and he didn't have an answer. It was, which of the lesser of the evils would you go against? And it was, oh, I don't know the answer.
Don't do that. Don't do either.
Exactly.
Find a way to not do either. I think Shurko's Tulin may be probably the scariest Tulin in EU.
It is. One of the best, if not the best, for sure. And I think the way he plays it, understanding how to play aggressive, when to land those clutch Thunderbirds, along with, if you play a Tulin with like a really high burst hero, like a Violet, they can get you low, and then Tulin will just snipe you with the Thunderbird. So you gotta be careful. That's a really strong duo combo, and giving both members their strongest heroes is scary. We're in the Matrix when that happens.
My friends, you guys predicted the last series correctly. Team Noob securing a win. This one a little bit more difficult now. Suijay, wanting to keep yourself on that ever illustrious journey towards 90%. Vitality for the dream. Who's going to win?
Okay, I believe in For the Dream. They let me down twice. Okay, the past weeks I bet on them
Third time's
twice.
the charm, right?
So third time is the charm. First time is shame on them. Second, shame on me. And third time, it's going to be a charm.
I believe. I'm going to go with For the Dream as well.
All right. They have it locked and loaded, but what about you, Twitch chat? What are you feeling is going to be the victor? This is going to be the most decisive match in the entirety of the Valor Series thus far. Number 2 versus number 3. We talk about the playoff implications for number 2 and 3 seed, but there's also money on the line. You get that number 2, you get more money in your pocket coming out of the regular season.
Yeah, look at these bans. So decisive there. They ban Zenio right off the bat, Liliana right off the bat, Teamy right off the bat. And now they're going to sit and think about the second ban they want to give here. And it's going to be Superman. Superman, Liliana, very, very obvious bans on the red side here.
It's so interesting to see how these teams prioritize these different heroes, because we didn't see Zenio picked or banned in either of our first semifinal games. But here it is coming out first ban.
Yeah.
Or Vitality. Interesting to see sort of how these teams prioritize the different heroes, especially going up against specific opponents here, knowing how strong some of these individual players are on those heroes. So Zenio, Teamy being denied, yes. Superman, Liliana, yes.
And the respect ban. Zephy's being banned. Max, that leaves Omen.
Oh, yeah.
And he's going to be first pick there, denying it from Mr. Rain, who's one of his strongest heroes. We have Violet open for Violet, but I doubt they're going to pick that. They're going to pick the side lane like Roma, Wonder Woman, Lubu are really good picks here. And they're going to go for Roma and Wonder Woman.
That is exactly what they should be doing here, trying to get as much pressure as they can. So Omen, talk about Omen. And he's sort of come more into prevalence as the weeks have gone on. His involvement rate has only increased here.
Yeah.
We've seen his ability. Where Omen gets his value is he always does well in lane, but it's when you leave that lane. He gets more value than anyone else. You rotate to Dragon, your tower's just not going to be there when you come back.
Yeah, and also teams have known how to utilize him in team fights. Because before, Omen is not really the best team fighter because his kit's very 1v1 duo. But if you get a Death's Embrace and you lock down a key target, they're stuck for 5 seconds in that circle. And as a result, there's a lot of great synergy. And look at Alice being picked there. And Batman, again, they're playing Batman like they did on Wednesday. And they need to win early game because they have Malik, Tulin, and Batman. That's an extremely strong early game composition. But it's into Aroma, Wonder Woman, and Lubu. Again, strong early game as well. But I argue that Vitality has a strong early game, so they need to abuse this Batman, Tulin, Malik composition.
We've seen Vitality have the opportunity, but more importantly, the ability to capitalize on early. But you talked about it when we were going over the roster at the beginning. They're a much more defensive team. They stall out, they wait to the late game, they get themselves some advantages. Coming into E3, needing as many repetitions as possible to potentially securing themselves a different strategy. This is an opportunity for them to do that, having a more aggressive early game in their style composition.
Yeah, and I love the Batman pick. Batman does so much damage in the early game. He is a guy that you need to snowball because late game, he gets a little not as useful, and the reason why early game is he approaches targets with 20% attack speed. He has a great ultimate that makes him invisible, gets a lot of ganks, and just snowballs from there.
Oh yeah, but you have to snowball.
Oh yeah, you do.
You have to. Like if you get into late game and you're not super far, well, just don't get to late game. Win the game earlier. That's your actual goal there. The whole Justice League's showing up here.
Yeah.
Who's going to come out on top? Oh, yeah.
If you don't snowball as Batman, he becomes a bad man.
50-50 Vitality for the Dream. Another close Twitch chat voting. Both of these fine individuals.
It's moving.
The draft is changing
Throwing
things
us
up.
off here.
All right.
I'm not even gonna, we can't do it. We can't wait any longer. We're not gonna delay Suijay in Virum, our second semifinal. Not only is the seeding for playoffs in and on the line, but it is all about that prize pool and securing a little bit more money in your pocket.
Clearly, Twitch chat thinking that Vitality came out ahead here with this draft as they are catching up there on the stream. So let's see if Vitality is going to live up to that expectation here, or if it is going to be For the Dream making their dream a reality.
Yeah, and one thing that For the Dream has an edge is Redemption is not playing on Vitality, and he's one of the main ADC carries, and we see Sotaro playing on this Batman here. So far, Vitality has a slight lead. You know, they were able to secure the red buff. And now Batman is going to be able to rotate and do some work.
Yeah, really watch for this here in the early game. The Batman coming out of the darkness to rain vengeance and justice down upon his foes, as we do have First Blood coming in here for Vitality. FTD just not respecting that rotation here, not committing the resources to deal with that, and that is going to be Vitality striking First Blood.
Yeah, look at King there, playing this Omen so proficiently and just pushing out Rain out of the vent, and he's going to get another kill. Oh my goodness. Wow. He is just abusing, and you can see why Omen was a first pick.
That is insane. That should not happen there in the early game. And that was, again, Vitality knowing exactly how far they could push that. The rotation was there, but he's like, nah, I didn't even go back, boys. It's fine. I got this. I got this all by myself. But it is now going to be FTD with the rotation. The Wailing Blade from Arena of Valor transitioning all the way from the top red buff all the way down to the bot lane to get that kill.
Yeah, what a smart rotation there. And even Rez, the way he played it, he saw Malik use his ability, went in, because with Alec doesn't use ability and hit you, his true damage, Empowered, Enchanted Cleave does not do as much work onto you. And Arena of Valor, again, he played Ryoma 2 weeks ago and had such clutch rotations and even a Dark Slayer kill on this Ryoma. So I'm excited to see what Arena of Valor can do.
It's a hero that has such amazing playmaking potential, and putting someone like Arena of Violet on that, oh, I am so very excited as the Abyssal Dragons going back and forth here. Who's going to be able to pick it up? It is going to be going the way of Vitality. FTD going to trade out a kill for it, but I think Vitality is more than happy to make that trade.
Yeah, and look at that trade there. Now even in gold lead, and with Batman being killed, that is really bad, because he's going to lose his jungle, and on top of that, he can't snowball. You know, when you die and you have that long spawn timer, you lose the pressure that your hero gives. So as an early game composition, you cannot die, because it's going to put you way back in the lead. Even with First Blood, they're falling behind here.
They are, but a great way to sort of come back is to get a clutch Death's Embrace. The Conqueror is trying to go out here as Mr. Rain is trying to survive through this. That took so long, though. Vitality committing so many resources to that, but they do end up picking up the kill. 3 kills to 2 now, and we're looking dead even basically here in terms of gold. Both of these teams are going back and forth. But Grizzly Q on this Alice, not a hero we've talked a whole lot about so far in this game. Let's talk about how Alice fits in with this composition.
Yeah, the key is they want to get the they want to make sure that the Alice ultimate comes down and the combos with the flash, because that hissy fit does 50, it decreases your match defense by 50%. So Alice is really good at comboing stuns, and he needs to land a stun here, but Lubu goes in there and gets knocked out and killed.
That stun was just not there. Was it on cooldown? I'm not 100% sure. That just did not come in time. They were all stacked so beautifully too. That could have been big there. The Sunshine not really where it needed to be, as we now have Arena of Valor going back. He does have the iron, but it is going to be King who falls. Shurko with that rotation staying far too long in the jungle was Vitality here.
Yeah, Vitality overstaying their welcome, and they're going to get another kill here. And this is not looking good. Their jungle is respawning, and as a result, For the Dream's going to be able to rotate. And look at the flash there. Oh, it does not get the kill on his. That was so close.
That was so close. I don't know what Vitality was thinking right there. You get what you came for. Leave! They stayed so long in that situation, and FTD capitalized beautifully. They respawned, came back in, got beautiful positioning, the way they were able to juke in and out of those bushes, and we do see that flank from the Ryoma. That was absolutely clutch. The stuns coming in were where they needed to be, and that is now FTD set up beautifully for this rotation and position on the Dragon.
Yeah, this is where you got to be careful, because you look at Batman. He's behind. He's 1.5k to almost 2k, and he's able to finish his item. And look, the steal from Flo gets the Dragon, and as a result, they have to back off.
They have to back off, and trapped in the pit are the members of For the Dream. What a beautiful counter rotation there from Vitality. I thought FTD was going to get that, no problem, but Vitality was there just in time, getting 4 members and a Dragon whatever lead. For the Dream had off of that last mistake, Vitality more than made up for it.
Yeah, that was huge for Vitality. What a great turnaround. What an amazing steal by Malik there. He doesn't have punish. He's able to steal it by going in with his cleave, getting that, and as a result, you know, For the Dream had to back out with such a nice collapse and counter engage. You know, hard engage by Vitality there. What a beautiful play.
Vitality just put them up against the boards. They're stuck there in the Dragon Pit. There's not a whole lot they can do about that. Trying to escape, but between a rock and a hard place, and that hard place was the massive blade that is Malik going in with that shock. The timing was so perfect, because of course he gets that AoE stun right before the Dragon's there, which then stops For the Dream from being able to take it because they're all CC'd. That was the heads-up play. Vitality showing why they're one of the top teams here in EU.
Yeah, and the key now, you look at Omen, you look at Tulin, look at the goal difference, 3.6 and 3.2. That's a lot of goal difference over For the Dream there. And as a result, the Omen and the Tulin are going to start carrying really hard. And that's exactly what Vitality wants, because Batman is going to start to fall off now. We're heading to the late game, and Sutaro can only provide more utility in terms of his stun that Batman gives, the vision that Batman gives with his invisibility, and he's going to be able to, he's got to let Moon and King carry it. So the key now for the Dream is if they can get a kill onto Moon, they can win a lot of these fights.
Yeah, but they're going to get a kill onto Rez there instead, but it is the Hissy Fit getting quite a lot of values. We have Shurko joining in now. Oh, Suitaro stepping way too far forward. That has been stunned. The Wailing Blade is there as well, and it is all the members of Vitality getting solo, and they're doing it all over again. They get one kill, but then they stay way too long.
Yeah, and Flo had made a mistake by coming in there, but Arena of Valor is not going to try to rush him and get a kill on him here, but instead he's going to try to push the wave and get this mid tower.
Yeah, they're going to look to push that in. The Wailing Blade not there for Arena of Violet. Going to follow up on that stun from Grizzly Q, and it is King going to try and back up here. Shurko as well, despite being the fastest man alive, he's been a little bit late on some of these rotations here, and we haven't really seen that big ult combo with the Hissy Fit, with the Flash, bringing everyone together, because when they line that up, it is going to be scary.
Yeah, and Grizzly Q had a nice Hissy Fit to get 3 members of Vitality stuck in a Hissy Fit, and they're able to jump in there and get Omen really low, and then Flash comes in, flies in there, uses his Cyclone ultimate, secure the kill, and turn that fight around completely. So really the key is going to be that combo and how much damage and burst that's going to be coming from Shurko here to secure some key kills.
They just need to execute it a little bit cleaner. If they can get themselves in that position, I think they're going to be looking really good here moving into this late game. But it is a substantial or fairly substantial gold lead now coming in for the side of Vitality. 1.5k, despite this being fairly even in terms of kills. But it is now them who are going to be the ones initiating here onto the Abyssal Dragon. Can FTD snipe this? Not a chance. Grizzly Q thrown in the stun just sort of for luck, I guess, as they rotate now towards this middle tower. But Flo is going to go in, finding Mr. Rain. He's going to try and get himself out of there as well. This fight is splitting as we sort of see For the Dream trying to push back the side of Vitality. Their splitter's not going to connect, but it is going to be Arena of Violet, the target there for King. They find the stun, the follow-up, and that is Arena of Violet just getting deleted.
Yeah, he's got to be careful there. They got to watch King here. These rotations from Omen are just making such a difference. Look at the ultimate. Death Embrace is capped. But wow, Shurko using that Death Embrace against them and getting a kill to turn that around. But Vitality does come on top in this fight.
That was crazy, and we do have Vitality coming out. We saw the ult combination for the Dream, and they did end up picking a couple great kills, but it just wasn't enough because they didn't have all their members there. Mr. Rain was not in position, so if they'd had that additional bit of damage here, I think they would have probably had that fight as a whole. Instead, split pushing into the mid. Mr. Rain still getting pretty good value here. But this is going, actually, you know what?
He got 2 towers.
Yeah,
that was crazy. Yeah. And that's why you cannot leave a Lubu unattended like that, because they just lost 2 towers, and that helps get For the Dream back in the game slightly here. And look at Mr. Rain. He's got to farm up, because if Lubu gets more fed than an Omen, that's going to be a really good news for the Dream. But Omen is looking pretty good right now. 5.1k.
A full 1,000 gold ahead right now. That is absolutely huge. But we look at the structures, and they are, well, fairly even right now. A slight lead coming in for Vitality, ahead in terms of kills, ahead in terms of structures, ahead in terms of dragons. They are looking very solid right now indeed. However, only a 1k overall gold difference right now. So Z-Flow forced to pop the shock to get out of there, retreating under his tower, but of course he still has that tower to retreat to.
Yeah, he does, and look at this. Moon's going to try to push tower. However, the rotation from For the Dream comes right just in time here, and they're going to be able to save this tower from falling. And look at Omen. This is the key. You got to watch the rotation from King here. He's really the playmaker on this team, along with Batman. They have a lot of CC. Batman has a stun from his Batarang, and he has a lot of burst from that forearm strike that he does in his first ability. So if they can get a sneak engage onto For the Dream, then Vitality has a really good job of surprising them.
Oh, but speaking of surprising, this is a Darkslayer coming out here for this side of Vitality. They're going to look to rip this right now, and I'm not sure that For the Dream's going to be able to get there in time. No, there is not a chance. So that is going to be the Darkslayers trading out for a Dragon. Vitality more than happy to make that trade.
Yeah, that was a huge trade. Now with Darkslayer, they can now push down hopefully 3 towers to maximize the Darkslayer buff and hopefully some kills. So now For the Dream needs to be careful here. They cannot give any kills over. They gotta basically punish the over-aggression from Vitality if they try to overly force these towers in.
They have to slow play this. They absolutely cannot allow themselves to get further behind here in this game because we said this, Vitality has the early game composition, but we look towards that late game. We look towards the scaling. This is definitely going to be in favor of the side of For the Dream here. Shurko on that flash in the late game, he is going to be hitting like a truck going at the speed of light.
Yeah, he is going to be hitting like a truck, and they got to be careful here. If they can secure a kill, I mean, look at his items. Tulin also has more defense than damage, so he's not going to be able to burst as much people down. It was interesting he built Aegis there instead of, you know, more damage.
Oh, yes, and I love that play there coming out from Grizzly Q, able to get the shield, that friendship allowing the team to dodge the shock there. And there's the Hissy Fit going in, and they're going to look to engage on this as well. In full retreat now is the side of Vitality, the stun coming in, and that is Suitaro trying to survive, but not enough For the Dream, turning on this beautifully, the cyclone going in as well, and we do see this team splitting the nice stun as well onto Wizard. They're trying to pin him down in the back. It is Mr. Rain going to be in there with the red stallion, but Arena of Valor not the target, as we do see Moon going in, trying to sustain, but it is going to be him picking up that beautiful kill. Nicely done there as Moon is going off. Clutch as well, but we do have the side of For the Dream chasing down the rest of them. And this is a second Hissy Fit going out in this fight, and Flo deciding he wants to re-engage, but that is going to be his death.
Oh my god, this is so rough. You have a Darkslayer, and you got aced by For the Dream with a Darkslayer buff. That just shows you the decisive engage and the amount of burst damage coming from Shurko. That combo, the knockups. This might be the game if they're able to push this or something. And this may very well be the game here. Let's see.
They're going to try and end. They're going to try and end this right now. The damage that Lubu did earlier, split pushing that mid lane is paying dividends right now, but no. The spawn timers are still low enough. They decide they don't want to overcommit. They don't want to give up that lead there. Whew. My heart there for a second, Sui J.
Yeah, if you look at the items though, Vitality's playing more defensive. They need a hard carry. Tulin is not the hard carry. Tulin opted to build an Aegis. He doesn't even have Hecata's Diadem, doesn't have a lot of Pierce or ability power amp items. And as a result, where is the damage really coming from Vitality? It's more of a sustained fight, but look at For the Dream, you have the flash. Look at his 3 magic tier 3 items already, the damage items, and he has enchanted boots, gives him extra pierce, and he has so much support. Alice is building more offensive. For the Dream is overall building much more offensive here, and as a result, they have more DPS.
But speaking of going offensive, Vitality is sick flank from Azura, able to pick up Mr. Rain in the top. We do have For the Dream going to look to push and rotate in the mid as well. As all 4 members, they're looking for King. They actually found him here, but he's just going to walk away.
Yeah, he's going to walk away, but this is a 4v5, so they got to be careful here. But Shurko, look at that damage, but he's so low. They need to help him. He gets a kill on Omen, though.
That is the Hissy Fit getting great value. Shurko able to get himself out of there. He's so nimble, but in the back, Suitaro is able to get that nice pick there from the Batman as well, trying to escape, but it's going to Arena of Valor all the while, though. We have Flo going toe-to-toe with Rez there in the middle as well. They're surviving. A nice stun coming in from Grizzly Q. The shields are getting so much value here as well, and now it is Azure. What a brawl right now. This was a 5v4 situation before the Dream is somehow going clutch here, but it is Moon surviving through this on that Tulin. He has been doing so much work in these fights.
That was a mistake by Arena of Valor to go in. Not only did Grizzly Kill miss the Sunshine stun onto Tulin, but Arena of Valor missed his Whirling Blade stun as well. Once you miss both stuns, you cannot fight that Tulin, and as a result, Tulin was able to burst on Ryoma quickly and win that fight. And that was a very, very good trade there by Moon to really turn that fight around.
Both of these fights, these 2 big team fights, have come down to For the Dream getting a bunch of great initial damage, and then Vitality able to sort of split up the fight, and then just sort of For the Dream ignoring Moon, and then Moon getting some counter kills. Like, it's kind of weird to see how this has been playing out so far. 18 kills to 17. Gold lead now, as we saw there on the graph, going in favor of For the Dream. They have been able to recover. They have been able to sustain through this as well. And of course, taking down that middle lane high ground tower, that is going to be a huge advantage for the rest of the game.
Yeah, that is going to be a huge advantage. Now the key is, I think, For the Dream just needs to fight together. They're constantly getting caught up. Vitality's winning a lot of these trades because they are catching For the Dream. Look at Rain, going to be caught out again here.
But that is the Hissy Fit going, and they're trying to turn. That is the big stun, but look at the damage from the Flash. They are grouped so beautifully, and that is the wombo combo from For the Dream.
Oh my.
Able to just decimate Vitality in that fight. Oh no.
That was crazy. And Mr. Rain, he did get caught up, but you know what? His team and his squad is right behind him. And then Shurko, the Alice ultimate, that AoE damage coming from Flash's Cyclone was just insane. Vitality could not handle it, and as a result, Shurko just cleans up.
Cleaning house indeed. It is now Moon trying to survive through all of this. The Endure is there, but not nearly enough. And despite split push, they're like, guys, it's fine. Lubu being the odd man out over here while the rest of his team wins the game. For the Dream is going to take game number 1.
Just like that, For the Dream walk away with a game number 1. As they say, the ideal man bears the accidents of life with dignity and grace, making the best of circumstances. It's an Aristotle day, ladies and gentlemen. When you have yourself in difficult situations and you're able to pull yourself out of the depths of disaster and into the arms of success, good things are bound to happen. That's exactly what For the Dream did in game number 1. It was back and forth. Vitality showing signs of life as they always have, but the team fights went over to For the Dream.
Yeah, I mean, Vitality did a good job. They had rotations. They were catching up For the Dream. Azure had 12 assists. So as a team, they were rotating a lot better, but their focus was off. And also the damage items, you know, Tulin needed to build pure damage. They needed a high damage carry, and they didn't really have. They tried to put that damage on Batman, and Batman doesn't really do much AoE damage and kind of falls off in the late game and gets killed so quickly. So as a result, For the Dream was able to turn on a lot of these fights. The fact that they won a fight with Darkslayer up just shows you that For the Dream had a better combo and had better focus.
I think what this came down to was partially compositional, partially build, but a lot of it came down to Vitality. As you said, the rotations were solid, but when it came to the team fights, just on another level was For the Dream. When the Hissy Fit and the Cyclone landed, I mean, that's the pardon the pun, that's the
game
dream.
changer.
That's the dream right there. That's the dream. So let's actually watch this fight back, because we're going to see it here. The way the Hissy Fit is utilized to split the fight, and that forces them back. The brightness of submission, and then watch the damage coming in from the Flash.
Yeah, look at it. He uses Cyclone there. He was able to get, misses there a little on that part, but the stuns from Grizzly with Alice, getting the kill onto Azure, then Vitality just splitting up and losing focus here, and that fight turns into fair. This is when they have a Darkslayer buff. When you have Darkslayer, you need to fight back, and you need to turn that around in your favor. As a result, was their split focus. They're not able to secure any kill For the Dream, and For the Dream comes out ahead on this fight, which was devastating for Vitality.
The fact that Flo had not used Shock yet at that stage. Like, when his team was in full retreat going back into the brush, that's when the counter initiation needs to come in there. Not re-engaging at the end into a Hissy Fit, which was up for the second time in that fight. That was just not ideal, and it really just came down to a superior combo, superior team fighting there For the Dream. And at the end of the day, you have to fight at some point. As you can have all the best rotations in the world, but at some point you got to fight, and when that comes out, For the Dream on top.
For the Dream has adapted quite handily over the course of the last couple weeks. We crediting them to their fault in a lot of instances of having a set strategy, changing it up too far in one direction. Clear example of that being Arena of Valor switching over into the support position. But now, as they say, and as we have said, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. His prowess and performance in the jungle, coupled with Shurko, has been quite fantastic as we find ourselves now in game number 2 For the Dream on the blue, Vitality on the red. Suijay, what needs to change in the ban phase here if Vitality wants to make it to a game 3?
I think they should play a more high damage here, or put damage onto like a two like really solid carries. I think Batman is just not working out for them. So like a Tulin with a Violet or something will be a really solid composition, or a mage or another assassin like a Zephyrs. I mean, Zephyrs was banned last game, but they could try to pick that up. But I feel like their composition have been really interesting revolving on Batman. Batman has not been really working for them, so I'd love for them to change that up.
I feel like we haven't seen sort of the marksman come in yet so far today. I would like to maybe see them trend towards that, play for more of a late game here. when they actually can fight and scale well. Because it seems like a lot of these teams so far have just been opting to go for more of the early game, sort of picking the bruiser, the assassin types, really focusing on the side lanes, but maybe as well sort of maybe look more towards more of a traditional ADC jungle. So we'll see if they opt to go for that here.
You can see it's Tulin first pick here because Vitality really is able to shine. Tulin had so many kills that last game, and yep, they're going to take away Tulin from Moon, and that's going to put Moon on potentially a Raz, which we see him play Raz really well, or even his L'Oreal, which is a goddess. So with Tulin being picked there, Ryoma and Wonder Woman are really solid picks for Vitality right now to secure some 2 dominant side laners that made it such a big difference for the Dream last game.
Versatility is a word that Vitality is finally putting into their dictionary, into their playbook. Are we expecting to see some sort of versatility, Wonder Woman and Ryoma being picked up, and where do they need to change to potentially change themselves, their fate rather, for this game number 2, Suijay?
Yeah, they just can't pick Batman. Zephy's being picked up, Lubu, really high engaged competition here. So in terms of versatility, I think they should not be versatile. They should focus on the meta. Right now, they're picking really well. Wonder Woman, Ryoma, super strong side laners. Pick up the Malik as well. They're going to do a Ryoma jungle, which means you have Wonder Woman and Malik side lane, and then Alice. Yeah, so far, their competition is really solid because Alice is such a good counter into a dive comp like a Zephy's Lubu. You can basically just drop the Hissy Fit, and everyone just focuses down. And look at this. A Violet will be picked up, and they're going to move that Zephy's to side lane.
So looking at this, I'm like, I don't see the punish coming out. Okay. How are we going to land this here? And I remember my question I asked you earlier, I posed, and I said, what's worse? Giving Shurko Tulin or giving Arena of Violet Violet? Don't do both.
I know, don't do both.
What happened?
They're going to lose.
So the question becomes, though, despite the fact that you put the 2 most powerful heroes into the hands of their most capable individuals, Suijay becoming perplexed in the sense of, would you prefer Tulin on Shurko, or Shurko on Tulin, or Arena of Violet on Violet? Both in this instance, but the question becomes now, seeing the composition that we have from both of these teams, is there anything Vitality can do despite the fact that For the Dream is on capable heroes?
Yeah, they have to not let Violet get too late game. I mean, that's going to be really scary. And the way Vitality plays, though, I haven't really seen them do really well in early game. I mean, if you don't have good focus, you can't really snowball. So they need to rotate. Team fight focus is a priority, and do not let Violet scale. Like, they cannot let Violet scale, but that's Vitality's mojo. They allow games to go on like 20 minutes or longer.
I mean, Vitality has a good draft, though.
Yeah, they do.
Like, they have a solid composition of their own. It's just that I wouldn't be so scared if it was any other team they were playing against. But when you give literally in the name for Arena of Violet, I mean, we see Shurko every single time he gets Tulin. I just feel bad for the other team. So we'll see what happens here in the second game. I don't know.
Well, as we get loaded onto the battlefield, you can see they're ready to go. But we have been hyping you guys up for the caster school all season. Episode 1 airs later today, so please make sure you stick around for that. Something that I know we're all excited to see, so stay tuned. But what is here? It is game number 2 of our second semifinal. For the Dream is up 1-0 over Vitality. They win this game, and they secure number 2 seed coming into E3.
They do indeed. Both of these teams want to secure that number 2 seed. Giving that additional level of choice is going to be so important here for these squads. But already we see a battle breaking out in the mid lane. Shurko v Moon. I feel like we've seen this so many times. What a storied matchup this has become.
Yeah, and look at Vitality. They're going to invade here. That's exactly what they need to do. They have a really good combo too. Wonder Woman has her stun. Ryoma has a stun. Alice has a stun. So they actually have a really solid team comp that can engage and get a lot of CC. And look at the counter rotation by For the Dream here. One, you invade my jungle, I'm gonna invade your jungle and just trade jungles, and that's really smart from both teams.
But taking one additional minion was the side of For the Dream as they do that. But Rez getting caught out here on that rotation. That is gonna be first blood. So more of a whimper here in this in the river as we scale Lubu just getting picked off. Just wrong place, wrong time. That just felt like miscommunication.
Yeah, and Rez should know that. I mean, you know Vitality's in your jungle. Grizzly Q is giving such good vision. He knows what enemy opponent, and Rez rotating there was in the wrong place at the wrong time when you knew it was the wrong place at the wrong time. So interesting rotation from Rez there, and as a result, he's going to fall behind like he did last game at side lane, which means that the jungle, Arena of Violet, and the Zephyrs will have to kind of carry a little harder.
They will indeed, as we have the Spirit Sentinel being the target for the side of Vitality, able to pick this up and actually forcing Arena of Violet back out of the jungle here as well. Going to be slowing down that farm slightly here on these rotations, just sort of forcing out a response here from the side of For the Dream. Vitality looking just a little bit crisper here in the rotations, but again, that's the story of game number 1 all over again. The question comes down to, especially looking towards this dragon, can they fight?
Yeah, let's see. They need to contest the dragon here, because if the dragon goes over to For the Dream, that's going to be very devastating. And look at the rotation here. Nice stun by Alice here. They need to go in on Violet right now, but let's see who's going to secure it.
They're going in there, Mr. Rain, and it is not going to be enough. The death from above, the Wailing Blade actually going to follow up on him there, as well as the team fight is devolving. We have flow going in, of fights breaking out across both jungles now. The Dragon actually did end up going the way of Vitality, so a nice engage, all starting off from an amazing double stun from that Alice. That's what set all this up.
Yeah, pushed him off, and then Ryoma was able to come in, secure the dragon, and then also got a kill on the Zephyrs as well. So this is really looking good for Vitality here.
This is Vitality like we needed to see. And again, I said this is a nice draft. If there was any draft that they were going to pick up that was going to potentially shut down what FTD is putting together, it is going to be this one. The amount of CC they have in the early game, the amount of damage they have in the early game is absolutely crucial here, and the ability to synergize Moon and Alice right now. Just lay down the smite, lay down the hissy fit, allow Moon to just play in the circles of doom. This is what Vitality needs to do.
Yeah, that's exactly what they need. Look at their gold lead. It's nice and comfortable now. They're almost at a 2K gold lead, but they gotta convert this gold lead into objectives, especially towers here. Getting Dragon is great, but you gotta snowball. You gotta push the lane, because Violet is so good at defending and clearing waves in lane that you gotta get early towers against her so you can start putting pressure on jungle and then continue to starve the Violet so she does not scale into her late game items and secure, you know, her second or third tier 3 item into the 7-minute mark.
Well, speaking of scaling, I mean, L'Oreal already versus the Tulin, 2.2 to 1.6. Talk about early game item advantage already going. Oh, the chain CC. Vitality putting him in the ground. That is exactly what they need to do, and they need to keep stacking these items like I was saying, because they are looking quite nicely 4-0 right now ahead of For the Dream here in game number 2.
Yeah, Raz again's got to be careful. You know, with 2 deaths, he is so behind. 1.6k versus one of them is 2.5k. It is not looking good, and Lubu is not able to build much of any type of damage item so far. I mean, he has Sonic Boots as his tier 3 movement item, but everything else, they completely lack damage right now. So For the Dream, they got to play careful. They got to farm, get their damage items, and then try to win the next fight or get a pick.
Yeah, they really have to just look towards this late game now. They have maybe they could contest in the true early game against Vitality, but now that we're getting in towards the mid game here and they are so far behind, they just need to turtle. They just need to get Arena of Violet fed. They cannot play aggressive here at all, because Vitality, with the way they are looking here in game number 2, they will win every fight and only further continue the snowball here. So FTD needs to identify that, identify the win condition of their opponents, and then play to their own. Yeah,
definitely they need to do that. And Shirko is farming safely. He's only died once. 2.1k lowers 2.9. He's not that far behind. He has the Orber Magi. As a result, once he gets his second damage item, Shirko can start doing a lot of work into this comp. But if Vitality continues to play how they are, comboing their abilities like this, those stuns that they have, Ryoma, the Alice stun, the Wonder Woman, and Malik ultimate, they're going to be looking really solid in a lot of these team fights.
Oh yeah, if they can line up the braces of submission with the shock, if they can put all that on top of a hissy fit and allow Moon to just play, as I said, in that smite the whole time, this is going to be very difficult for FTD to deal with. We saw how their ability to sort of work off the hissy fit, the wombo combo in game number 1. Now that is on Vitality. The onus is on them to assert that here in game number 2, and they have the ability to do so. They just need to take what they learned in game number 1 and apply it here in the second game.
Yeah, and I think Arena of Violet has probably crit Arcana, because he's critting pretty often in a lot of these hits. So when he starts getting his, look, he's building crit too. He's trying to, I think, finish Clag's Sancti here, and he has that. It's going to allow him to crit a lot more often and give him that extra burst.
Oh yeah, getting that Clavis Sancti here in the early game. Oh boy.
Shirko missing that was huge. I mean, Grizzly HU missing that was huge. If they landed that, they would have been able to kill Moon, and that would have allowed them to hopefully get objectives and catch up.
Ooh, speaking of missing skill shots, if King had landed that lasso, that could have been a big problem there for the side of For the Dream, as the Dark Slayer has now spawned, and it is going to be the target here for both of these teams. We have Moon going in, that is the smite being dropped in full retreat, now the heal being popped as well for the side of For the Dream, as they are getting absolutely chunked. Vitality, the aggressors here, Grizzly trying to get out. Moon barely missing that, able to drop the wheel, drop everything down, trying to sustain through this as well, but they are now going to be able to look back. They have that key kill, look towards this Dark Slayer.
Yeah, Moon is just looking so great on story. That was a 1v3, but he knew that Violet and his enemies has no defense except for just Gilded Greaves. Not enough defense for us L'Oreal, because look at L'Oreal. She has Aura Matter. She's 4k ahead, did so much damage, so much work, jumped in, used his ultimate, and just was able to delete Arena of Valor immediately.
That was really huge there from them. Again, knowing that they have this advantage in this mid game. They are ahead in terms of gold. They are ahead in terms of item. Almost a 4k gold lead now from the side of Vitality. 3 dragons to nil. That is actually huge. They've been able to stack and cycle those beautifully, but it is Suitaro now potentially getting caught in position. Moon's going to look to go in here. The special iron, not enough to keep him alive. The smite is there, but they're just going to smartly back up. It is now Flow here. Grizzly in full retreat. He is committing to this death now at this point, but trading 1 for 1, still not ideal here for the Dream.
Man, Moon's L'Oreal is just so fun to watch. He's so aggressive with her, knowing when to ultimate, knowing when to go in, and then just constantly slowing the person they're focusing. Grizzly Q just didn't stand a chance. And with Lumber being level 7 and Moon being level 10, that tank is a lot easier to kill.
Oh, yes, indeed. He's just not able to do a whole lot. Got to get in, got to get that Earth Splitter going. It has to connect on multiple members. But this time around, there's not as much of a clear synergy, not as much of a clear follow-up. Yeah, you have the death from above and everything Mr. Rain's going to be putting together here, but this is just more of a throw the damage at him kind of style from the side of For the Dream. There's less obvious synergies.
Yeah, but one thing that Vitality needs to do, they are ahead right now comfortably. They're taking objectives, but they got to start taking towers. I mean, if they let the towers stay there and allow Arena of Valor. Oh, look at this gank here. Nice push there, but no stun from Suitaro. Stun comes out now, but doesn't get the kill there. I wonder why he didn't stun initially and then have Azure follow with another follow-up stun and then secure that kill onto Arena of Valor, and they missed the chance.
Wailing Blade into the Sunshine, into the Spectral Ire was the combo they were looking for there. Not quite finding it, a little bit out of order, allowing Violet to roll right on out of there as well. So that was a bit of a misstep there for Vitality. Maybe Alice just not quite in position to follow up there and thinking maybe they could sort of channel it. But now 1 kill to 6 for the Dream, only finding 1 kill here. However, as you said, the towers are still alive, and we're moving towards this mid-late game right now, which of course is where their composition will thrive.
Yeah, Vitality, they need to do this forward-man rotations. Get a gank on bottom or top lane, and then get the tower and open up the jungle to invade, because they're not invading the jungle as much, and they're not starving it. As a result, the gold deficit is not increasing. The gold lead is not increasing for them, and that's what they want. And if they allow this to continue the way it is happening right now, Violet's going to start getting her second tier 3 item. Already finished her Clive Sanctity. She gets her second tier 3 damage item, and Violet will start to become a threat in these fights, so they gotta be careful.
They have to be careful indeed. King, nice dodge there. Not able to connect was Mr. Rain on the gank, but we do have some missed skill shots coming in now from both teams throughout all of this. The dodging is absolutely huge, but that is actually the Hissy Fit drop right now in the back. Grizzly Q's gonna look to go in, and the snipe is there. Beautifully done there for the Dream. That was exactly what they needed to do. That is how they are shutting down the continued farm and snowball of Vitality.
Yeah, what a huge play, and now look at that. For the Dream gets a tower against Vitality. That is devastating when Vitality is in the lead. They just lost a dragon, you just lost a tower, and you traded nothing for that, and look at the gold deficit now. It's only 1k, and Violet finishes Muramasa, her second tier 3 damage item. Now Violet will become much more relevant, doing 1,300 plus crit attacks. This is not looking good for Vitality. They need to start taking towers and start pushing their lead, because they do not have an ADC. They do not have the range to counter this Violet.
Oh yeah, that was absolutely huge. And a lot of missed stuns coming out here from Suitaro. That's a little bit uncharacteristic here from him. Not kind of used to seeing him sort of missing those key skill shots here as well. But you said it beautifully. We're starting to already see the crit come online. We have that armor penetration here as well. Muramasa in the early game that will only continue to get value as it scales. So I love seeing that build early here. And of course, we're going to see her so nimble, able to move all around these team fights. Good luck to the side of Vitality trying to get onto Violet in these fights.
Yeah, definitely. And Rez there could have won against Mori. He has a Spirit of Longenius. He's finished his Soul Reaver. So when he's in an extended fight versus Wonder Woman, he's going to shred her armor and decrease her armor with that 5 stacks from the Spirit of Longines. But he was playing safe. He knows that they're not ahead, and he knows that if Wonder Woman's being aggressive, there's got to be someone else in the lane there trying to gank me. So he instead backs off his Lubu and is playing a more cautious way, which is really smart because in the last game, we saw Rez get ganked a few times, and that's not what he wants.
Oh, yeah. He cannot get caught out here. That is the way Vitality really propels themselves into this late game here. They need to find picks. Oh, no. And they might be looking to do just that. Rez needs to get on out of there. He needs to mosey on home. As we see an aggressive posture coming in from Vitality. The stun not going to connect there as well, but it is the shield. Azure trying to set up his team, get the movement speed in. They're going to look to engage on this as well. Maybe this is the time to fight Sui J.
No, it's not actually. They want to back off. Not yet. Because they need to wait for Vitality to make a mistake. Vitality is just trying to force errors. They are playing a little more passive, waiting for the Dream to go in there, overextend. But Mr. Rain missing his death from above as Zephy's, you need to back up. If Zephy's misses that ultimate, that he doesn't play to his win condition there. Because landing the ultimate is huge to the amount of damage he can put out. And look at Moon there, the amount of damage and Rain going back in. Oh my goodness.
That was not what he wanted to do right there. Re-engaging onto the wheel in the smite. Not an ideal situation.
Yeah.
Taking damage from it twice.
And giving a tower over. Because of that one decision, he gives a tower over, and that's not what you want to do.
I think that might have just strictly been a misclick. That might have just not been where he wanted to ult out. I think he wanted to maybe escape right there. Instead, re-engaged. Just a slight misplay because he literally just murdered himself on that wheel. That was not a great situation, and that has now allowed Side of Vitality to take multiple towers here, propel themselves forward. Their first tower wasn't taken until 12.5 minutes into the game. With their composition, that's just bizarre.
It is, and look at this. Now they take both towers, mid tier 1, top tier 1, and the jungle. As a result, you know, For the Dream is going to fall a little behind, but still, they're looking good because they have the Violet comp and Vitality does not. So Vitality needs to push their advantage even more. They should have taken Darkslayer at that point. And without Darkslayer, they're not going to be able to secure these towers down. And Reno Vi's going to keep farming and get to her late game, and then she's going to be a pain to deal with.
Oh, she's going to be so frustrating here. The poke that she's going to be able to do, just whittle down the side of Vitality throughout all this. Vitality are going to need to be hyper-aggressive here if they want to have any chance of not just getting shredded before the fight even begins here moving into the late game. Because FTD, that's what they're going to look to do. Poke, 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 and then engage, find their opening. Mr. Rain, the death from above, that is what they're going to look for here in the late game.
Yeah, definitely. Once you land a death from above, you got to go in pretty hard, and that's going to be a lot of burst damage coming from Zephy's. And look at that. Tulin finishes Hakate's Diadem, allows him to do much more damage, gets that ability power amp. He has 3 tier 3 items now. Moon has 4, which puts him in a comfortable lead, but with 3 or 2 damage, you have a chance to turn this around. Look at the amount of damage coming out.
The Thunderbird dodge with the Endure. That was huge. Riziki with an amazing Earth Splitter to sort of help out the team with the escape, try and re-engage there, but it is now King baiting out with Sudaro in the bush there as well, but he's actually getting pretty low. Mr. Rain's going to look to go in here. The entire side of For the Dream have identified that this is their opening. This is what they need to do, but Azure is going to be there with his team. We have Malik down in the bot lane now. This is a 5v4 situation, and Darkslayer going to look to be ripped here for the side of For the Dream. This is going to be the point of contention here. Vitality's going to look to go in there right now. Mr. Rain is there. The Darkslayer is getting very low. Can they get this down? Vitality's going to look to snipe this, and no, they cannot find it. King not there in time. His Wonder Woman play not as crisp as it needed to be, and that is the Darkslayer going the way of For the Dream, and that is the kill as well. They're going to look to get more as Moon in deep. The smite is there. They're not going to fight, though. Very smartly backing up because all the while, Malik is split pushing.
Yeah, Malik getting a tower was huge, but the Darkslayer getting taken by For the Dream is massive, and look at that. 39. The gold lead is almost even when Vitality actually has the objective lead in terms of dragons taken, towers taken. That just shows you that Violet is coming online now. She's farming, being safe, only dying once. 9.8k to Rio, almost 7.5k. She's clearly ahead in jungle, and now it's going to do a lot of work with this Darkslayer buff.
However, 2 members of the side of, oh, never mind. That is just, I was going to say, talk about how, you know, Vitality's still doing pretty good in terms of farm, but it doesn't matter when they're just getting ripped apart. Diving under towers, the impunity is For the Dream. I was going to say that Wonder Woman and L'Oreal both have over 10k gold as well, actually out-farming the Violet right now, but that is all about to change as For the Dream is pushing in here. They have reached their critical mass. They are going to look to engage onto their foes as they're just chunking down the mid lane. Their push is looking indomitable as they're going to back up, reset, take dragons, take towers. Vitality is on the backstep.
That was such a nice combo and engage there. Tulin going right in. Rez along with Shirko. Getting those kills on Alice and getting the kill onto Sotaro was huge there. And now they're allowed to push down 3 towers because of those 2 deaths.
And that is the high ground falling as well. Beautiful target prioritization. We have the counter initiation from Vitality, but it is not nearly enough. The Endure is there, but it doesn't mean anything because For the Dream surviving through all of it, the way they're able to split that going in with the Earth Splitter, with the follow-up, with the death from above. Vitality tried to reinitiate with the shock, but it was just not nearly enough because all the while the minions were still there and the tower did end up falling. So we have this value, but a great hissy fit is there as well. Grizzly King as well. They're trying to find this, but the Sun, the counter initiation from Mr. Rain, that is it. That is what they needed for the Dream. Looking so solid here, pushing into the high ground as well. And then his other members of Vitality getting so low, trying to back up. Shirto is going in deep, but overextending too far, but the tower will be taken as well. For the Dream is pushing it onto the core.
Yeah, Violet is full health and they're not able to jump on the Arena of Valor. And as a result, it's going to be easy take of the core.
That is going to be it. GG for the Dream, taking it 2-0 over Vitality.
Reality is wrong, dreams are for real. Who quoted that? I'll let you, take a look back into the interwebs and figure out who you think it is, because For the Dream has indeed made their dreams real, securing themselves not only a 2-0 victory, but more importantly, the number 2 seed coming into the regional finals next month.
Yeah, it was huge for the Dream. They're able to turtle. Vitality was not taking these towers. They had the lead. They had the early kills. And again, they like to play to this late game stage. So if you're going to play this style and not abuse your early game lead, then you got to play ADC. You got to play a more late game composition. But we have not seen them play ADC since Redemption was not on the roster. And they're trying out different things, but it did not pay off for them here.
It did not indeed. They had the early game composition. They got the kills. They had over a 2K gold lead. And we're not able to take a single tower, not take a single real map of, objective here. And against a Violet, in the hands of Arena of Violet, I mean, I feel like For the Dream was just very happy to just keep letting them do that. I imagine they were probably confused. Like, you're just not going to push. I mean, okay, are you sure?
There is a conscious decision that teams have to make in the pick ban phase. You only get 3 bans per side. So you have to question, are these priority, the OPs as we like to call them, a more or less of a priority than somebody like a Violet? Yes, Violet by all means is a high-tier jungler, but when she is put into the hands of somebody like Arena of Violet, good things have definitely been bound to happen. Now, coming into the regional finals, these teams will be playing each other again. We will be having the same exact matchup on our European bracket for that top 4. So if Vitality wants an opportunity, wants a chance to potentially make themselves into the finals of the regional finals for Europe, what are they going to have to change and what are they going to have to practice over the next few weeks?
Yeah, we were talking about throughout the game is if you pick an early game comp like a Batman, you need to win early game. You need to get objectives before the 6-minute mark, and if you win, you take 2 towers, take the Dark Slayer. They had a chance to take the Dark Slayer, but they didn't. There's a lot of misplays by Vitality, and I feel like overall the theme for Vitality is just a lack of focus. For the Dream, it just had better focus, better team fights. They knew when to go in. They did get caught out a few times. Vitality has the better rotations, but the lack of focus is what really cost him a lot of these matches.
And let's take another look here at this fight as we move in here. And this was really when we saw the side of For the Dream come online. And watch the lack, as we say, this lack of focus here in this engage. We see them go in and try and commit, but all the while, the tower is going down and Arena of Violet is left untouched.
Yeah, and why even go in? The team is you're a disadvantage. You have 2 deaths. There's no reason to try to engage. Just save your tower in terms of getting the wave and get the heck out. But they engage when the tower was already pretty low and it's going to go down anyway. There's not worth it to trade tower and give a death over. Just give the tower up and don't give any deaths over.
As they were dying, their teammates were respawning. If you're going to lose the tower anyway, why stagger those deaths? Not making a whole lot of sense. I think seeing a little bit of fluster coming in. But of course, we're going to see. This is sort of a preview show of what we're going to be seeing at E3. This is a learning a stage for them to learn here moving forward. So hopefully they watch this back, identify where they make these mistakes, get good practice in over the next few weeks, because there's a lot they need to turn around. Vitality showing so much promise early game, rotations, macro generally pretty solid, but team fights looking sloppy.
Sweej, Paul asked you earlier, would you prefer Shurko on Tulin or would you prefer Arena of Violet on Violet? Team priority was putting Tulin into the hands of Shurko, and he is going to get the MVP for that specific reason. The members of For the Dream understand immediately where the strength, where the prowess, and where the power lies, and that is Shurko in his mid lane play, specifically on Tulin.
Yeah, he did an awesome job on Tulin, playing super aggressive, getting a lot of kills, but also on Flash as well. I mean, game 1, he shined on Flash, getting such clutch ultimates. He used the Cyclone inside Omen's Death Embrace and got a kill and turned that fight around because he basically wasted Omen's out, got a kill on top of it, and allowed his team to rotate in time to secure more kills. So really nice Flash play, really nice Tulin plays by Shurko.
I mean, they're able to execute the Wombo the way we want to see it. 3-man Hissy Fit into the Cyclone, just pop, 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 pop. Let's get it done. It was sick. He looks solid. There's a reason we see Flash consistently banned. In the hands of something like that, it's absolutely terrifying. He seems to thrive in those sort of close-range mage, sort of high-mobility heroes. So definitely something to keep in mind for people looking forward, trying to say, hey, how do we shut down Shurko? Maybe take a look.
It's not so much of the pop-pop-pause, it's more of the haymakers, because For the Dream walks away with a clean 2-0 victory over their opponent Vitality, securing the number 2 seed. The finals will be coming up quite shortly. Team Noob and For the Dream, while this means absolutely nothing for playoff implications, it is pride on the line, as Team Noob potentially having themselves an opportunity to go 6 weeks in a row. Meanwhile, down in the relegation bracket, Spanish Takers takes the game 2-1 over Team Queso. Now, in Virum, this is a team that I know you have been watching closely, winning some community cups, and despite not finding themselves in a great spot at the end of the Valor Series here, it is Season 1, and we might potentially see them in the future.
Oh, yeah. The way they draft, they have some of the best, I mean, from like an amateur, quote-unquote, or from like an open community cup standpoint, part of the reason they were dominating so hard in the Go Fours is because they were strictly out-drafting their opponents 100% of the time. Their team fighting, it's not even unless they're team fighting, it's their skirmishes. It's how they take the 2Vs and the 3Vs. Like, those smaller fights, they execute them so cleanly, and that's really what makes this team so strong. Team Queso, obviously, they've had some success, struggled a little bit. They have the org behind them. These are both two teams that I'm really excited for. The battle in Spain, I guess, to come back here. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Now, we have a few weeks between the end of Week 6 and E3. What are you going to do? How are you going to prepare yourself? There's only so much that we, can do live in any standpoint. And so make sure that you head on over to our YouTube. That's youtube.com/Valor Series, where we have match VODs. If you are going to be missing either one of these voices in a week, well, you can head on over to the YouTube and hear them at the drop of a click. I don't know how you drop your finger down on a click. You probably... Regardless,
you can do it. It's fine.
It's
fine.
there. It happens. The finals are coming up next. We're going to take ourselves a quick little break. When we return, Team Noob has an opportunity to secure themselves 6 weeks in a row. Uncontested as the champs, but For the Dream, looking to unseat that throne. We'll see you in a bit.
Welcome to the Hero Spotlight for the Flash, the fastest man alive. The Flash deals magic damage, yet has strong melee and super maneuverability, allowing him to assassinate enemies from afar. There's no escape from the Flash. Let's begin. Passive Sonic Boom. Every time the Flash moves 4 units, he will receive 1 stack of Speed Force. Upon reaching 10 stacks, the Flash will activate the Speed Force, strengthening his next normal attack while dashing forward. He also temporarily reduces his target's movement speed by 50% and deal 280 magic damage. When he hits his target, he gains a shield of 700. Use the protection afforded by the damage shield to get off some attacks on an enemy hero. Sonic Boom will help you keep the upper hand in the lane. First ability, Super Speed. After a short charge up, the Flash dashes forward, dealing 300 magic damage to all enemies in his path. The Flash cannot be controlled while dashing and can cancel the dash by using another ability. When the Flash reaches his destination, he can activate the skill again to return to where he started, dealing 300 magic damage. Enemies damaged by the initial dash are dealt an additional 450 magic damage. Use super speed to give yourself distance between the enemy. While the enemy continues to pursue you, activate super speed again to return to your original position, thus tricking the enemy and giving you more time to escape. Second ability, Mach Punch. The Flash channels the speed force and punches an enemy 5 times within 0.8 seconds, dealing 270 magic damage every time. The last punch deals double damage, and when it hits an enemy, grants the Flash a 40% movement speed increase for 2 seconds. The Flash can move during Mach Punch, so make sure you're within range of the enemy to get all 5 hits off. Please note that Mach Punch won't trigger his passive Sonic Boom. Ultimate, Cyclone. The Flash takes off in a circle and creates a cyclone, dealing 160 magic damage to surrounding enemies for 2 seconds. While he is generating the cyclone, the Flash cannot be targeted by abilities and can move the cyclone's position at 40% of his movement speed. 2 seconds later, when the Flash stops, the vacuum from the cyclone pulls in surrounding enemies, dealing 800 magic damage. If the enemy is going to use a control effect on you, you can Cyclone to prevent them from controlling you, as the Flash is immune to all control effects while using his ultimate. Want to be the best ever with the Flash? Then listen up. We have some tips that can put you on the right path. 1. The Flash can get 5 stacks of passive using the first part of super speed, then gain 5 more stacks using the second part, giving him a total of 10 stacks, thus allowing him to activate Sonic Boom. 2. Try out this effective combo with the Flash. First, collect stacks for his passive. Get in close with super speed. Swing with his strengthened normal attack from Sonic Boom, then use Mach Punch to get in 5 more hits, then immediately use Cyclone. After that, use the second part of super speed to return to his original position. The combo sequence is as follows: normal attack, ability 2, ultimate, ability 1. 3. For level 3 Arcana, get Violate, Gorilla, and Hex. For talents, get either Execute or Flicker. 4. In a team fight, get up close with super speed, then use Cyclone to control the enemy. Coordinate this with another hero. For example, Diao Chan, to set up strong control to allow your teammates to deal massive damage. Thanks for watching today's Hero Spotlight on the Flash. See you on the battlefield.
When I let go of what I am, I become what I might be. For the Dream needing to shed every ounce of the last 5 weeks if they want themselves an opportunity to usurp the Kings of Europe. That is Team Noob having secured themselves 5 first-place victories out of the first 5 weeks. 1 series away from being the unanimous, undisputed leader of Europe.
Yeah, this is for the Dream's chance to come out swinging and show that, hey, we are going to be your biggest competition coming to live finals, and we're going to take 1 week, the last week, which I argue is probably the one that matters the most, because it's the last game you played is the best game that you played usually, right? It's like the Super Bowl, right? The last game is the most important game.
Exactly.
That's all you remember.
29-1. If the last one's the one, it doesn't really matter, does it, you know?
So this is for a Dream chance to really show that, hey, we can beat Team Noob in a best-of-3 series.
That's what they have to do here. Also, I have no idea how many games are played in an NFL season. Don't quote me on that. Anyway, let's get into this. Let's talk about some of these teams because...
Do you know how many games are played in the Canadian Football League, the CFL?
Nobody cares about the CFL.
Okay, that's an accurate statement. I was trying to help you. And you took it, and it happened, and it's there. But let's go ahead and break down what is there, and that is Team Noob's excellence. They have secured themselves victory after victory after victory. And what can't we not say about them?
Yeah, they're a team with when they rotate, it's so dangerous because they are able to combo their abilities and turn around a lot of key fights as well.
To answer your question, Jump, the only thing we can't say about them is that they're bad. They have done consistently. They have come out swinging every single week. They have looked so incredibly solid. Every single one of these members would be a star on any other team.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And even their subs, Coco,
oh yeah,
and has come in very, very strong. So I feel like the entire roster is so dynamic, so flexible that they're a threat in every single way possible.
Now you take a look at their opponent, and that is For the Dream. Now, For the Dream had a very convincing win in our second semifinal of the day. Coming up against Team Noob, they're going to have to find a way to switch things up and catch them off guard.
They didn't look as clean, I think, as they needed to here. They need to tighten some stuff up. Yeah, they won over Vitality, but both of these teams made a lot of mistakes. They cannot make those mistakes against a team like Team Noob. They are an absolute powerhouse. Mr. Rain in particular got caught out a bit. Rez got caught out a little bit. They cannot allow that to happen because once Team Noob gets that foothold, they will put that foot to throat and they will never look back.
Yeah, unlike Vitality, a Team Noob get a kill, they're going to convert that into one tower, two towers.
Oh, yeah.
That's going to be very, very risky there. And that's what For the Dream needs to be careful because they tend to struggle a little bit in the early game against a team like Vitality is not as strong as Team Noob in early game. So if you make some mistakes in the early game against Team Noob, that's going to be a big, big fat snowball coming your way.
So now, gentlemen, is the ultimate decision. You both found yourselves 2 for 2 in the semifinals. Suijay inching ever so much closer to that 90%. So now the question becomes Team Noob or For the Dream? Who's going to walk away victorious in week number 6?
Every time I bet for the Dream against Team Noob proved me wrong every time. So I'm going to go ahead and go with momentum and bet on Team Noob because they are the team that has shown time and time again consistency is everything for them.
It's the boring pick, but I agree. Team Noob just looked very, very good. And again, there were mistakes that appeared in that other semifinal match. Yes, FTD came out on top, but I think there's still some tightening. They need to take the wrench, the bolts and everything. And again, they're building a beautiful machine over there, but it's just not quite there yet.
Progress to be made, progress to be seen, and the first step of that progress could potentially be here in the finals match for week number 6. Twitch chat, do you agree? Do you disagree? Or will you create your own idea? Team Noob or For the Dream? Let us know in the Twitch chat. We will make sure to check up with that. Caught you off guard on that one, didn't I?
What, are they going to make up some third team? Player 3 has entered the game? What's
There's a light in the sky.
Okay.
They want Batman.
All
they
right.
want him to show up. Maybe we saw him
earlier.
Find no success earlier. Maybe one of these teams will decide to pull him out. Team Noob on the blue side, For the Dream on the red. We are blowing through pick bans immediately. Omen, Wonder Woman, and Superman, as well as Liliana, taken off the board.
Yeah, both teams came into play. When they ban that quickly, they know their strategy. They're coming in hot, guys. So this is going to be a very, very fun match to watch and to see which team can really prove that they are the ones that deserve the Week 6 championship here.
I mean, I feel like at this point, it's Team Noob's game to lose. I feel like they have everything. They're walking into this. They've won 5 straight weeks. This is really, the onus is on FTD at this point to come out and just say, look, we can beat you here. Yes, you have been this champion time and time again, but we are good enough to do it, and we can repeat here at E3. For the Dream needs to at least take a game. They need to take a game here for their own confidence, for their own morale. If not, they might struggle.
Yeah, let's see if they're going to pick Wonder Woman and Lubu here. Oh, the Malik will get picked up here instead. That's going to give the Wonder Woman Ryoma combo. Oh, it's actually banned. Wonder Woman is banned. So they're going to actually be able to pick up Flash and allow the 2-in on Shirko.
So this is the question that I wanted to propose to you. For the Dream in their last series and in their quarterfinals as well, prioritized Tulin into the hands of Shurko, not prioritizing it, preferring to get the Malik into Lubu, most certainly to make sure that that doesn't get comboed with the Ryoma for Team Noob, but giving away the potential for that Tulin in the mid lane. Instead, though, Poseidon decided to go for that flash, and they have decided a Zephys and a Joker, leaving their potential mid pick for the final decision here on the red side.
I think that's interesting. I think a lot of that maybe has to come off of how that was played in the last game. Obviously, Shurko looked really good. He got our MVP, but he's not as dominant as we've seen him here. And they know Poseidon can play anything. Trying to mage choke is just not viable at this tier. These guys can play everything here. So focusing instead on those crucial side lane positions, identifying their key junglers as well. I think that's huge here. Mid, hello? Team?
Let's see if they're going to put Violet on Violet, or are they going to play?
Okay.
There we go. Tulin's going to be picked up here.
Kind of like through everybody. Everybody's sitting there going, hold your horses.
You couldn't see us on the desk, but there's this moment of like, wait.
And so it looks like that Mr. Rain, as we are getting ourselves back and forth, Joker's getting bounced around. We'll get final confirmation of where that Joker is going to decide to go. It looks like, however, Zephys will be into the hands of Arena of Violet. Now, an interesting thing to note throughout the course of the Valor series, Arena of Violet has added versatility to his hero pool, known to play only the 80 carry junglers. We've seen him on Wisp, of course, we've seen him on Violet, as well as something like Alindis has been transitioning to playing those melee junglers to add some versatility. Do you think it's going to find success in this game, Suijay?
Yeah, based on how he played on Wednesday with Zephys, he played phenomenal. Even his Roma, the past 2 weeks have been great. I mean, he understands each hero's abilities and how they work. Understand the limits of the heroes and able to land these key skill shots. I'm really looking forward to how his Zephys different buffs are going to come down here.
Well, it's really interesting because how we've seen the meta evolve over the last few weeks. Like when we started off in the first week, we saw some ADC jungle, Team Noob 75%. No surprise there. They saw sort of more of the traditional ADC jungle, and then that sort of quickly swapped into like week 2 and 3 into more of like the heavy assassin melee. And then that swapped back, and then back again. We've sort of seen this rotation back and forth. So having his ability to switch, I think, has been super beneficial for them here.
Not only that, but Team Noob have found themselves in difficult situations when they find themselves behind. The first 120 seconds of this game is going to be the most important for the Dream. Ladies and gentlemen, it's week number 6, the final week of the regular season. Team Noob versus For the Dream. Suijay and Enviram, let's make it happen.
Let's get into it here. Our grand finals for Europe as we have For the Dream with a solid aggressive rotation setting the tone here for this first game in our grand finals. But already Mr. Rain, more like Mr. Retreat up there in the top lane, forced all the way back under the tier 2. That's not how you want to start a laning phase.
Yeah, Coco is doing such a good job there. He was able to get the red buff, push out the Lubu, and as a result, deny, get the trade there, and then now they got both red buffs. And For the Dream just spent a lot of time getting no objectives. And this is going to put Team Noob in a nice early lead in terms of rotation, in terms of clear, and now they can really invade again on the next rotation here and really put For the Dream further behind.
Yeah, this is big here already. Team Noob, they've struggled a little bit in terms of momentum. They've dropped games here and there, but they came into this week, I feel like, in no-nonsense mode. In their semifinal matchup, they look solid from the early game, they look solid in the mid game, and then closing it out in beautiful fashion. Quick, clean games, and I feel like they're sort of lining that up already here. Just the way they're putting pressure onto FTD here. Look at this mid lane right now. Grizzly Q is almost getting picked off to start this off. That is not a position they want to be in at all here. They want to be going at least even.
Yeah, they definitely will. And I'm really curious to see how the Flash is going to do against the Circle here, the Tulin. And look at his rotation. Rez there might get caught out, but Circle does a nice rotation, saving him from that 1v2.
Yeah, 0-7 missing the Wailing Blade there, but it is now Coco once again on this Kilgroth. Coco has been doing so much work here so far. This Lubu has not had a moment to feel safe. Oh, we do actually see First Blood there going in, and we do see a trade there. Shurko deciding that, you know what, I'm committed onto this. Let's get this kill. But of course, now that's the mid lane sort of left up for grabs here as well. Shurko needs to find cleaner looking kills here.
Yeah, but it was a good trade though, honestly. It's First Blood, so he gets that 300 gold buff. And as a result, he has 1.3k to Flash's 1.3. And for that to be a 1v1 trade, it's pretty good for Shurko because of that First Blood. So I understand why he went in, but he can't do that again, though, because if he continues to do it and he falls behind Poseidon, that's going to be a really tough matchup for him.
Great point being made there, Suijay, getting that quick maps going in, identifying, hey, I want to get that first blood to sort of even out. I'm losing this mid lane matchup a little bit here, so I need to recover in some way. But a great way to get ahead of gold is this Abyssal Dragon right now. But 0-9 almost dropping right there. That was so very close, but has Shurko stepped too far forward?
Yeah, he has, but look at the damage coming out. Arena of Valor, but there's no abilities, no stun. They're literally staring each other in the eye there. They could have killed 0-7, but looks like abilities were not up. Couldn't secure the kill, but Abyssal Dragon is going to go to For the Dream, and it's a really nice play there.
That is exactly what they needed to do. Great job catching out the Alice there. Oh, there's the Ultimate. Actually, great dodge as well, but the follow-up shock. Poseidon is going to drop. The Cyclone not enough. Great little recovery there from him, but it just wasn't quite to what he needed to get himself out of that situation. A lot of resources committed for FTD, but well worth it.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see how this Joker support's going to play out too, because Grizzly Q is on that Joker playing support. So the key with Joker support is he does add some little additional damage. They're probably going to build more damage Joker, support Joker. As a result, he's going to add to the burst that will come out. He has the canned laughter stun that he can use to combo a lot of the abilities with the Blue Boo knockup. So, but it's a composition that depends on initiating first, because if they get caught out, they don't really have a tank on their team except for maybe the Boo and the Malik.
It's sort of interesting to see how Tulin and Joker have sort of been rotating here in this mid lane as well, sort of trading off farm, allowing Tulin to go and get those rotations, bringing in the Joker to get that farm as well. So you see a fight breaking out over the Spirit Sentinel. Mr. Rain is going to be the target. Hissy Fit going in, but not going to quite connect. But Arena of Valor, it's actually doing a very good job of splitting this potential engage here, though. So great position there from 0-9, trying to block off the exit, but also blocking the flank there from FTD.
Yeah, if Arena of Valor landed at the death from above, that would have been a game changer, but barely with the ultimate there, and that could have been really good for the Dream, but Team Nude able to just disengage and looking for the Dream now. Now they're ahead in gold after a pretty dominant early game rotation for Nude.
Yeah, that was really a nice little recovery we're seeing here for Team Noob as well. And FTD, they are feeling a lot more composed, I feel like, in this second series here of the day. Getting a little bit warmed up after that first one. They looked a little bit skittish there in that first series going up against Vitality, but they're looking much more confident here. Oh!
Wow.
Almost finding that snipe, but Shurko, he's going to look for it, and he's going to get it.
What a nice play. Flashing over, or blinking over the wall there, and securing the Thunderbird ultimate onto Ryoma. And looks like they're going to go for the Abyssal Dragon instead of forcing a tower here instead. I would have went for a tower there, because when you get tower and you take that tower down, you completely open Dragon side of the map. And Shurko is going to be able to back, or Grizzly Issues is going to be able to back up. And look at the poke coming from Poseidon here.
That was absolutely huge. Almost finding the kill onto the Joker there. And I agree. You can always go back for that Dragon, but that tower, you've got to find those key openings there as well. I think they would have been able to do both in that situation. But either way, able to convert kills into map objectives. The things that we say time and time again are the hallmark of a great team. And right now with 3 kills to 1, up 2 Dragons to 0, this is FTD looking so strong against the Titans of Europe. But we're seeing here the Titans can bleed.
Yeah, the one thing too is Nakroth is actually not as ahead over the Arena of Valor here. And wow, look at that.
Vex! Vex, what are you doing? That was absolutely sick. That dodge was nuts. They committed so many resources. Sorry to cut you off, Suijay, but Vex is doing things.
Yeah, that's why the Nakroth is played by him so often versus any other team. His mechanical raw talent on this guy and his ability to dodge so much with his Judge Fury and Death Sentence is just a joy to watch. However, look at the farm though. Zephyrs is not that behind Nakroth. Nakroth needs to get ahead, and look at that Shurko showing dominance with his Thunderbird ultimate, getting the kill onto the Flash.
That was absolutely huge. Flash going in, trying to get that poke damage, feeling he had it, but the damage was actually enough from Shurko that the Thunderbird came in ripping. Nobody was there. I actually think the 0-9 probably could have body blocked it, but they didn't think it was going to kill. They just, the math they did earlier was looking great, but they must have forgot their calculators at home, because that was not what they wanted there. And that is now a full 1K gold lead for FTD.
Yeah, that is huge. What a nice play. Shurko is doing such a phenomenal job. Again, we talked about his Tulin, how proficient he is, how aggressive he plays it. His ultimates so far have just been on point. He landed 2 kills so far with both his ultimates, and this is someone they need to focus. Vex has to laser focus on Tulin, because he's the one that's going to be able to do the most damage with that AoE burst, with that ultimate Thunderbird burst damage. And look at Mr. Rainer getting caught out by a 3-man rotation, and they're going to secure top lane.
I think it's interesting here Because what we're seeing Team Noob doing right now is identifying the potential weak link here on For the Dream. And they found Mr. Rain. They've seen him get caught out. Obviously, they had the ability to watch that last semifinal game. And he was getting, a little bit, caught out here. We now have 0-7, though, trying to survive the initiation there from FTD and able to do so beautifully, dodging out that. And Rez trying to bait him onto the tower with the shock, but 0-7 might still be in trouble. Poseidon is trying to come in here and save him. Shurko is looking for the flank.
Yeah, but look at this. Oh my goodness.
Spectral Ire is there. 0-7 with the shield. It's gonna be enough. Overstepping, not this time, Shurko. And that is the Team Noob that we know. The collapse was there. The team play, the synergy that they bring. That is the mark of Team Noob, able to extricate their teammates out of precarious situations. And that was why they are the #1 team in EU. That was 0-7 needs to, don't make me look bad here, bud. Come on.
Yeah, Rez, if he landed that Malik ultimate earlier, he would have killed 0-7, and that could have gone in the favor For the Dream, but because he missed that and they overstayed their welcome, again, like we said earlier, they're making mistakes. They're staying too long, allowing Noob to rotate down and collapse on him. Shurko kind of getting greedy for that kill on 0-7 there and got completely eliminated because Alice, Poseidon, and Ryoma, or 0-7 was on him and were able to burst him down instantly.
That was exactly what they needed to do there. That was absolutely huge. So that was a really great rotation coming in there from Team Noob. And as you said it, just not quite respecting what their opponents can put together here. For the Dream needs to not be careful to get cocky here as well. And Team Noob sort of identifying the weak link on the side of For the Dream. And For the Dream needs to do the same on the side of Team Noob. The downside is there really isn't any weak links here as they're going in. Oh, catching Poseidon on the way back. That was a beautiful shot coming in from Rez. Going to force the full retreat now. But it is Vex not getting the memo that the team is backing up here. Now he's put the rest of his squad in a bad position. And that is going to be For the Dream. Chase them down.
Wow, look at that. Oh my goodness. If they combo the Malik ultimate sooner with Arena of Valor Death from above, they could have secured more kills. But as a result, it was kind of an even trade. But For the Dream does come on ahead here in terms of damage. But Coco's going to be able to make a rotation down here to save this mid tower. Look at the amount of burst that's coming out from this kill graph. Oh my goodness.
Coco has been basically left uncontested up in that top lane going up against Mr. Rain. They've been trading fairly evenly, but look at the farm here as well. Looking really solid here. 6K going up against that 5.5. So coming out ahead is the side of Team Noob here. And once again, Rez forced to retreat. But again, that really just came down to Team Noob being like, okay, we're going to try and get out. They caught Poseidon on the backstep coming back with his dash. But then for some reason, Vex is like, no, we're going in. And that miscommunication may cost them here in the long run.
Yeah, what a nice Alice Hissy Fit ultimate there. Just zoning out Arena of Valor. But 0-7 overextends, too aggressive, out of position, and gets focused down 3 versus 1.
So getting the dragon, but finding a kill in return was For the Dream. So 6 kills to 6 right now. A very even game so far. Looking at this now, you can tell the #1 and #2 seeds, they are going toe-to-toe. And I feel like this is the closest we've seen a team go against, like in a straight-out brawl against Team Noob right now. In a lot of games that Team Noob lose, they just straight lose. But this is an all-out war as they are engaging here onto the tower right now. Arena of Valor taking those crucial tower shots, though, and getting so very low, but they're able to get the pick there. 0-9 now in full retreat. Can they get him here? Rez trying to find this last auto, the soul rip. Can he get it? Yes, he does. Nicely done the stun, not quite there in time. And that is FTD coming out on top.
What a beautiful Malik shock ultimate there. Getting stuns underneath the tower, and then Shurko and the team focusing down Vex. And another Thunderbird coming from Tulane, along with the burst damage that Shurko was able to provide. Lands a Thunderbird onto Vex, kills him, and wins that trade. And Coco here, going to be caught up, but can they get onto him? No, he misses that throw, but it's going to be enough. Mr. Rain secures the kill.
So I think one of the big differences that I'm seeing so far in this game is that often the games that we see Team Noob lose, it's games that Team Noob just loses. It's less of them getting outplayed. I think this is one of the few situations we are actually seeing a team just straight beat Team Noob. And it's really awesome to see this because the overall talent pool in Europe is only getting better week after week, having this consistent play, having these multiple options to just, grind that tournament experience. It's really showing right now because we are seeing Team Noob legitimately on the backstep, down in gold, down in kills, and they're just losing. Never see that so far. This is awesome to see from FTD.
Wow, look at this burst damage from Shurko. He just plays Tulin so aggressively, and the ultimate comes out, gets blocked by Alice, but look at the damage from Flash. Almost kills Shurko, but he's caught out. He needs to back off, and the mass, oh my god, Malik misses his ultimate. That is huge.
The friendship was there. The power of friendship from 0-9. That shield, the speed boost, able to hit the whole team out of that shock. That was absolutely massive. That was literally the reason they survived right there. But again, FTD not getting picked and able to convert onto a map objective here. Yes, they've lost a few towers, haven't been able to take as many towers. That's definitely something they've struggled with here, but they are still able to get these key map objectives, and Poseidon has just not been able to be as dominant as we've seen him.
Yeah, this is insane. If For the Dream just basically cleans up a little things, like if they combo the Malik ultimate with the Zephy's Death from above, along with Joker's Can Laster and the burst from Tulin, Joker, and Zephyr. Think about it, Joker is a support, but look at the damage on him he has. He has a lot of damage on him. He also has Cursed Death, which is going to decrease and counter the HP regeneration that you see Kilgroth have, you see Roma have. This is such a good build to counter. So I do like what For the Dream is building here. The key is they just need to combo the Malik ultimates along with the CC that Lubu provides, and then pair up the burst with Zephy's and the Tulin.
Speaking of Zephy's here, Arena of Valor in full retreat in the bot lane. Team Noob not quite able to find the rotation, but potentially a counter initiation looking in here for FTD. And you mentioned the Joker, and what I love about that so much here is the fact that if this goes super late, they can transition that more into the traditional ADC role. You can transition that support Joker into another damage dealer here. We're seeing him sort of build a hybrid here, but if this goes hyper late, they will have him in his traditional marksman role if they need it here. That's just another tool in the tool belt that is the drafter for the Dream.
Yeah, we do see a lot of items there completed on Flash, so he has 3 tier 3 damage on Enchanted Kicks. That's a lot of power with Apocalypse, but look at him. He gets knocked down, and the Malik ultimate is going to come out, and the Cyclone's used to dodge it. Wow, what a nice play. However, For the Dream's going to come on ahead in this engage.
Yeah, they're able to dive onto the tower here. Rez surviving. It is now 0-9, and Coco backed into a corner. Mr. Rain is there, and that is going to be the collapse they need. Vex is, though, on the flank, trying to get these additional picks there onto FTD, but Arena of Valor doing such a great job here as well, but somehow surviving through all of this was Team Noob, able to somehow get some trades here as well. I cannot believe it. For the Dream looks so strong here in this fight. No, Sharko! Do not allow him to survive throughout all this. I cannot believe it. Back and forth. What is this fight, Sui J?
Yeah, I mean, For the Dream came on ahead, but if Violet went back, if Violet used his Death from Above to just kill 0-7 and not let Sharko take as much damage from 0-7, living a little longer, that could have been turned around and they could have jumped onto Vex when Vex engaged. However, because the team was off synergy, Violet went off and the other two dived in. They lost that fight, and it was not a good look. And now, because of that, Dark Slayer goes over to Timu, and that was massive. I mean, such a great Malik ultimate, such a great Flash dodging with Cyclone. And you can see why Flash is not good if the team knows how to counter. As soon as he goes in, as soon as Poseidon goes in, tries to punch the enemy in their face, they are able to focus him and do so much burst onto him, forcing him to disengage immediately.
Yeah, that's really what you need to do there to shut down that Flash. You cannot allow Poseidon to just play his game in these fights. He needs to be a priority target here for the side of Team Noob. But you want to talk about FTD, again, they've been getting some advantages in these fights, but they've just been staying too long. You hate to see it. You hate to see a team just go in there, get a good advantage, and then throw it away. They need to respect the counter initiation from Vex. They need to respect the flanks. This is what he does on this Nacroth. That is his game. Do not allow him to execute it.
Yeah, exactly. What you want to do is, oh my good, look at Poseidon getting chunked so much, using his Cyclone ultimate to potentially dodge anything that's coming his way. But you can see that that's how you counter a Flash. For the Dream is showing us exactly how to play against Flash, and they're doing a heck of a good job at it.
I love it. They sort of almost baited Team Noob into picking it, saying, look, that's totally fine. We know we have the answer here. We've written our notes. We have our study guide. We know how to shut down the Flash here as well. So that is what I really like to see here as well. They just need to make sure they're able to capitalize once they catch him, and then once they overextend, they need to execute him and his allies, because you know, Team Noob, they're all about that teamwork. They're all about protecting those allies. They are going to commit to save him here in these situations if he overextends.
Yeah, the team was not with him there. Poseidon did such a good job pulling out the Joker, and as a result, they're going to be able to take down this tower. But look at when Tulin is there. Tulin can do so much burst damage and hit the Flash with his passive there, the lightning bolts that come out, hitting the Flash, doing a lot of damage that the Flash just cannot dodge.
Oh yeah, he can't dodge that as fast as he is. Not quite fast enough, as now Poseidon's got to back up. 0-9 is there, able to bloody block that out. That was absolutely useless. Stun going in, connecting on two. There's the CV as well. Arena of Valor 244. 0-9 is being an absolute beast right now. Going absolutely off on the support role, getting hissy fits while simultaneously saving his carries. That is exactly what you need to be doing. But Poseidon is still playing with fire here, more like playing with the Speed Force, dodging in and out around here in the jungle of FTD. Team Noob is feeling good.
Yeah, what a nice poke by Poseidon. Then Sharko counter-engaging, and the whole team focusing on it. And then 0-9, that body block of that Thunderbird was so on point, timing the friendships and then using the Hissy Fits to zone out the enemy so that his team can get away. This is what makes Alice shine so much in the late game. Her ultimate can literally change the course of a fight with the timing and positioning of it, and that's why late game Alice is something to be feared. And look at the items she's building. A lot of magic damage. She will do a lot of work onto for the Dream if she can land her abilities.
That's really going to be what I'm watching for here because we saw it executed earlier. We saw the Hissy Fit into the Cyclone, but we haven't really seen it yet in this game as much. So I'm really going to, and partially this is because FTD is doing such a beautiful job of dodging it here, and just the way they've been positioning themselves, not stacking for it. But if Team Noob gets one big Hissy Fit Cyclone, that can literally be GG at this stage.
Yeah, that's going to be huge, and that's what we're looking for. Poseidon, you can see his items, Apocalypse, he has so much damage. His Rhea's Blessing as well. So a lot of people, they're building also Tomb of the Reaper and Cursed Death, so a lot of people are countering this HP generation. But 07 is getting caught out, and look at the Cyclone coming out from Grizzly, and he gets the kill on Grizzly. Beautiful play from Poseidon.
There's the Hissy Fit, there's the Cyclone, there are the kills. 07 is going in though, he is going to fall, but they are doing so much work to boot as well. Split pushing in the top lane, split pushing in the bottom lane, getting the kills in mid. Team Noob is firing on all cylinders. They're diving on the high ground right now. Coco has gotten absolutely stacked. The Lord of Gore and Mr. Rain is trying to survive. Poseidon is going in. Is now Arena of Valor looking to counter initiation, but it is Vex going to be here on the flank as well. Coco trying to survive the heal. That is 09 going off. The support play is there. Sustaining through that Coco, the lifesteal was there, and 09.
Yeah, his Enraged Spirit came back on cooldown. He's able to use that to get the lifesteal along with Alice, dropping the Hissy Fit, and basically countering the Zephyrs from using any of his abilities, because if he used one ability, he probably would have been able to secure that kill on Coco there. But because he was silenced for 1 second, it was not enough, and Arena of Valor gets focused, and Vex comes in as Necroth to get that knock up and save Coco's life. Really, really nice rotations by Team Noob here to turn around some key fights.
Team Noob is definitely squad goals because they show up when you need them the most. That, I think, is one of the big trademarks of this team, is that when one of their carries does something crazy, the rest of the team is there to back them up. I feel like that's really what this team excels at when it comes to situations. They have big playmakers, and they enable those playmakers. A lot of other teams, you would see them, oh, he went in, that was kind of silly. As we're seeing potentially right now, they're going in, but the whole team is going to be there. Poseidon, though, has already taken so much damage, in 07 as well. This is looking like a pretty good fight here for FTD. They're chasing it onto the back line. Mr. Rain is there. The Red Stallion, finally, a big misstep coming in here for Team Noob, but Arena of Valor getting hard juked in the mid as well, as we do see the side of FTD capitalizing on an overextension.
Yeah, what a crazy engager, and they're focusing the Malik there. Malik is a pretty tanky part of the team there. Rez has a lot of defensive items, so they need to actually focus the Joker or focus the Tulin, and as a result, because they didn't focus Joker or Tulin, Joker did so much burst damage from the backline. You gotta watch his passive. He has that knockout punch, that second auto attack after a certain time, comes out and does that extra attack damage. And Poseidon coming in with the Cyclone. Wow!
Hard to do damage when you're dead. That is Vex on the flank, 09 with the stun, trying to get himself out of there, trying to distance himself from the rest of that team. The Thunderbird not going to connect Poseidon, doing a great job body blocking that. The stuns are there, but it's not nearly enough as both members are actually going to fall. Team Noob, crucial misstep there, and a great capitalization from FTD. Now it is Vex caught out 1v3 in this top lane. He's going to go try and find Shurko, but not going to be able to do it. And that is going to be Shurko surviving beautifully there. Able to get both targets there. FTD is looking so good. Vex is going to be back, but it's not nearly going to be enough. He's just going to fall once more. Coco sort of slithering around.
Yeah, that's the one thing there. He's going to try to go in, try to get a kill Circle, but however, this is going to be a really tough spot for him. It's a 3 versus 1, and he's able to just slide out there.
Oh, Mr. Rain actually not getting connected on there. 07 is just playing so aggressive, weaving in and out of the jungle here, missing stuns left, right, and center. So he needs to be very, very careful here that he does not get caught out and stagger out this death. Coco's probably like, buddy, what are you doing? Let's just take a breath. Let's just take a breather here. The Team Noob is all in right now, but every high ground tower for FTD still stands, and that is crucial.
Yeah, I really like what Joker's doing. Joker, look at it. They have 4 people with Medallion of Troy. So Flash needs to focus Tulin. He needs to get the kill on Shurko. Joker now has Medallion of Troy, so he'll last a little longer because Poseidon's playing so smart. He saw that Joker has so much damage. He was able to go in there and get a lot of kills on Grizzly HQ. But now because Grizzly HQ has Medallion of Troy, it's going to be a little harder for Flash back to take them down.
Yes, it is, and the Darkslayer is now going to be going over the way of FTD, but the kills are going over the way of Team Noob. The Wombo combo is there, and that is going to be Team Noob getting so many clutch kills here as well. That was a 4v, that wasn't even a full five-man team for Team Noob. They don't need it. They go in. The Darkslayer goes the way of For the Dreams, but standing on top of the Hissy Fit and the Cyclone, able to do so much damage, but the high ground tower is still going to stand until these minions get here. But this could very well be GG. They're going to look to push in here. Watch how fast this high ground tower falls. Watch how fast these minions go down. They're pushing in onto the core. I believe that is going to be it. I believe that will be game number 1, unless Rez can pull off a miracle. But no, that is going to be it. Team Noob takes it here, game number 1, the grand finals.
Just when you thought For the Dream could create a new opportunity and potentially usurp the kings of Europe, Team Noob decides to take that momentum and shoves it right back into place, securing themselves a Game 1 victory. Now, you guys got to see it for yourselves. Team Noobs now not only shown themselves versatility, not only have they shown themselves dominance, plenty of clean sweeps, but now resilience is in their playbook.
Yeah, I mean, that was so great to watch. Both teams could have taken it away. For the Dream was playing so well. Team Noob was being punished for their overaggression. For the Dream, they're overstaying, right? And we saw how they were able to counter Poseidon's flash. I mean, it was great to watch. And I love and give kudos to For the Dream for playing that Joker support because it worked out actually really well for them. But it came down to a decisive last fight engaged there. And Team Noob pulled it away.
I think this is some of the best Arena of Valor that we've seen so far in Europe. Both of these teams are playing really well. Both are making mistakes, but it's how they're capitalizing. So watch this here. I think this is hugely important. They fight under the Hissy Fit. They fight under the Flash. They know that this is where the side of Team Noob is going to be strong in these big AoE situations where their abilities are going to get so much value, but they did it anyway, and it's that kind of mistake that cost them here. But this is still some of the best play that we've seen from FTD.
And you mentioned it, the Hissy Fit and the Flash Ultimate, that did so much AoE damage. Flash went in there with Hissy Fit, slowing them. And you know that the combo works so well because Hissy Fit slows the opponent. He has Frosties, and then Flash's Cyclone moves at 40% of Flash's move speed. But he's able to hit everyone because of the Hissy Fit.
90%
so much burst damage.
90%
yeah,
slow.
And that's the combo that we were talking about. And they executed that so well. Even with Darkslayer secured by For the Dream, it was not enough. And that's how you can turn a fight. If you can focus better and combo properly, it doesn't matter if the team has Darkslayer, you're going to get those kills first.
I don't know if you know this or not, but 90% slow does not allow you to move very fast.
Basically a root at that stage.
I mean,
basically a root.
At this point, you're literally
Alice Frosties is dirty.
trying to just creep through quicksand at this point in time because you can't go anywhere, and down you go as Team Noob again and again. It seems like every week teams are doing their best to come at them with a new strategy. For the Dream, finding, in my opinion, one of the best strategies, fighting toe-to-toe. We talked about it. You noticed it. You're saying it. It's some of the best Arena of Valor gameplay that For the Dream is bringing, but yet shows as well how far ahead of the rest Team Noob really is.
It also shows that Flash is a late-game monster. He's a little weak early game. Tulin actually beats the Flash early and mid, but if Flash builds his damage items, gets that Apocalypse, that Hecate's, all that stuff, builds up the Orb of Magi and then the passive on there and the ability damage that comes out, he just starts deleting people and chunking people for health. Like Joker was forced to build him down Troy because he was literally 2 ability shotting him to death.
It's so funny. They identified the Joker, and they got on the Joker, and they killed him every fight. Like, he was literally a non-factor. I'm like, great, they can transition late game. It's going to be awesome. Again, you can't do damage when you're dead.
Yeah.
So now the question becomes, Sweet J, For the Dream playing some of their best gameplay yet, but it's still not being enough. Coming into Game 2, having first pick advantage on the blue side, what can they tidy up to potentially turn this to a Game 3?
Yeah, I think they just have to not make mistakes. They're in the lead against Team Noob. Team Noob was behind, guys. I can't believe I'm saying that, but Team Noob was behind in most of those games. So they got to stop overstaying. I feel like For the Dream gets too greedy. You know, Shirko got that first blood, which is great, but then he still tried to get more kills and try to do 1v3s and just got deleted. So I feel like they need to stop being too greedy, and they need to stop overstaying.
Again, this whole match was this first game was a game of chess. I think it's super interesting because normally the games we see Team Noob lose, they draft cheese and they get stomped. Actually, we've seen that happen. They draft dumb compositions and they just get beaten. We're like, come on, Team Noob, what are you doing? And they come back and they're totally fine. They drafted legit. They played legit. And they still went toe to toe. But
Yeah.
Okay,
Liliana or Superman is going to come out here. Because they have to ban one or the other.
had to go one of the other. They can't let Superman through.
Or they're going to let them through. Who cares? Who knows? Who knows?
Okay,
Rez
but is there a warrant in not banning either one? Because then you have to make a decision. Do you go OP Superman or do you
They're going to
take
give
away?
Liliana.
You're right. And I feel like in this instance, For the Dream has to lock the Liliana in because if not, you're putting it into the hands of Poseidon.
I love that decision making too.
Flash.
Yeah, but I still have the decision here too because they're banning the Tulin after how strong it was just played.
Oh, yeah.
Knowing that it's like, okay, pick your poison. What do you want to go against here? Liliana or Superman? Leaving up the OPs. I love it.
No Omen here, so Realma Lubu being picked. Omen will be picked up here, and potentially a Lumber. Alice with Omen?
Omen needs to be.
should-
Oh, Omen's banned.
Omen's banned. I'm sorry. Yeah,
Ooh.
I actually like this decision of Team Noob securing such early game power in Ryoma Lubu because what allowed that game to transpire the way that it did in game number one
Joker.
was Team Noob didn't have as powerful as an early game and thus allowed For the Dream to kind of keep up with them toe-to-toe until the later stages. And so now they're going to try to just nip this in the butt. If the Kilgroth gets locked in as well, that is a lot of early game aggression in the hands of Noob.
Yeah, it's risky though. Alice is so good at counter engaging, and then so mobile. The Liliana is so mobile against it, and then also she can basically blast a Reiki shot right in your face. So they're gonna go at ADC, and Atara gets picked up by For the Dream. I don't know if that was a mistake pick or what, but wow, that's a very risky and interesting pick there.
That was interesting. That came out of nowhere for Mr. Rain.
Oh,
Ooh.
and Zephy's, I don't really like the Zephy's pick into a Kilgroth.
This draft took a turn.
It did take a turn, and Team New is playing most of their comfort picks that they've been playing. So
Or hyper-aggressive assassins and the Flash.
yeah, that's a lot of burst. Kilgroth can hold his own against a Zephy's or Tara. So Team New basically counter them. The only hope that For the Dream has is the Alice and Liliana late game.
The entire mood of that draft phase went yes. Oh no. It was
Good turn.
It was definitely the drop of a terrifying roller coaster.
Terrifying roller coaster.
Horrifying roller coaster.
A scary.
Scary, yeah. So it is though, but not for their opponents as much.
You're getting closer to thin ice, sir. I'm just letting you know.
I'm sorry.
It's getting
apologize.
closer. But the picks have been locked in. For the Dream having a very unconventional draft. Is there any sort of positives to pull out of this draft phase if you're For the Dream, Sweet J?
Tara, I want to see Tara's just good at running around the map and pushing waves.
He
Getting
asks you for
towers.
positives and you talk about Tara. Come on. They got Liliana.
So the key is if they can leverage that Tara early and, distract Team Noob while Liliana can scale, then it will work out for them. But it's going to be a tough one.
This is not the mid laner that you're looking for. It is going to be quite the interesting match. But remember, at the end of the North American broadcast today, concluding week number 6, we're going to have episode 1 of the Castro School air, where we're going to get ourselves introduced to the 8 contestants, as well as seeing how their journey through Castro School starts. But gentlemen, again, Team Noob finds themselves 1 win away from unanimously crowning themselves, heartedly so, the Kings of Europe. For the Dream, looking to tie it up and doing it in unconventional style.
Doing it in unconventional style, indeed. For the Dream, their dreams are on the line right here, right now. They obviously, talk about what's really at stake. Pride is mostly what's on the line right now at this stage. But of course, they don't want to go out getting absolutely stammed because again, it's going to weigh on them over these next few weeks prepping for these live finals. But Team Noob, they want to go out the way they started. They want to go out on top like bosses. And I believe this is the draft they can do it with.
Yeah, and look at that. Mr. Rain actually did not use his punish to grab the Seagull there. And Coco is going to get that. And then they're giving Kilgroth to Coco every single time. And we've seen how proficient he is on this Kilgroth. He wins his side lane almost every single game. So there's something they got to be a little careful here and cautious about.
Oh yeah, and Coco knowing that he wins this trade here. Mr. Rain is in full retreat. Coco just wiggling at him, giving him the business up there in the top lane. Is 0-7 going up against the lane Joker here as well, so no surprise. Interesting to sort of see how that's become meta over the last 3 weeks here. Grizzly Q with some aggressive B steps. I like it. It's fine.
Yeah, Grizzly Q is such a monster in his end. That's what I talked about. It was Liliana and Alice here is the key to this competition, especially in the late game here, because Liliana can actually hold herself against the Flash once she gets her items. If Flash jumps in and tries to punch her in the face, she can land her Shining and Blinding Light combo onto him and basically chunk him more than half health. And that's the key. But it's a lot of skill shotting because Flash is fast. You got to be able to land those skill shots against Poseidon to be able to out-trade him.
Yeah, that's really huge here. Just his ability to sort of dodge this out. And we've seen Poseidon be able to do that so many times in 0-7 as well. Just watching the way they rotate here and dodge all of this. The Abyssal Dragon is not going to be pulled back here. For the Dream just committed a lot of cooldowns there to that situation. So they're just going to back up. But now, Shurko is there. And then as we see it once again, trying to shut down the Flash. You got to hit him first.
Yeah, really nice rotation by For the Dream. They're rotating as 3, protecting their jungle, and then stopping these jungle invades because they know, like, this is how you defend your jungle. Exactly what For the Dream is doing. Team Noob knows they need to invade jungle. That's what they've been doing. But For the Dream has been having some nice rotations to counter.
They have indeed, and trying to counter out this rotation right now. The Abyssal Dragon still going to go over the way of Team Noob as Vex and crew are getting very low. 0-7 is caught in deep in the opposing team, but 0-9 is there trying to peel for him as well. Can he get over the wall here? Yes, nicely done. Arena of Violet not able to get that. So Team Noob finding everything they wanted, but Mr. Rain going in, going to try and drop the hammer on the retreating side of Team Noob, but he needs to be careful.
Yeah, he's got to be careful here. And look at it. Get a stun on Vex there. Nice by Grizzly Q. And look at Arena of Valor. Gets a nice death from above. However, that didn't come in time. He needed to combo that death from above with Alice's Sunshine Stun. Not when the team jumps out. You got to combo at the same time. And as a result, puts himself out of position, gets a tower shot, and dies there. And that could have been a turnaround for the Dream. But instead, they fought more behind.
That was not ideal at all. I believe he had level 4. I believe he could have done that too. Just a slight misplay in that situation. And against Team Noob, you have to be perfect. There is no room for mistakes against a team this good.
Yeah, there is not room. And they got to combo that. I mean, Grizzly HQ, again, his Alice is so proficient. Landing these Sunshine stuns. And the team needs to follow up. Because you have a Zephyrs, you have a Liliana, you also have a Joker Sun as well. You know, there's a lot of things that Fortune can do to turn these fights around, but if they don't play focused and look at this is what they need to do. But 0-7 again, Lubu, this is why Lubu is so good in side lane. He can jump 3 times with Red Stallion and just get away and activate his ultimate if he's being focused to survive and get a lot of sustain.
Yeah, he's just so hard to shut down here. Again, the team synergy needs to be perfect. You need to be comboing your CC. Like, they need to instantly burst him there. They had the Can Laughter, they had the Sunshine, they had the Hissy Fit. Like, that should have been a kill, but instead just able to walk away there. That was massive res here now as well. I'm going to watch for this Joker because he actually is a carry that does decently well in the mid game here, but now Mr. Rain going up against Coco. Coco needs to be careful. The Gorelord is there, but Arena of Violet sort of pressuring him back, realizing they need to sort of reset this. But look at how much damage has already been done to the Slayer lane.
Yeah, definitely. That's smart for Mr. Rain to back off, because as soon as you hear Kilgroth yell Arena, and you see the Gorelord ultimate being activated, and this little aura that forms around, you have to back. Tar cannot beat a Kilgroth 1v1 because of his attack speed and amount of lifesteal that he gets.
Yeah, it is not a whole lot of fun to deal with here. The Dragon going the way of Team Noob as well. They're winning across every front in this moment. 11.7 to 8.5. This is the lead. This is the Team Noob that we know and love. And FTD just sort of... maybe something happened in the draft. They're not feeling so good here in this, but this looks like a different team, and it really just feels like Team Noob has come online.
Oh no, Mr. Rain, you're gonna get caught out, sir, and that's gonna be a 3 versus 1 collapse. Really nice job by Coco there, jumping right onto her, being aggressive, because he's ahead. That's exactly what you do as Kilgroth. And because of the matchup now, Coco is just putting so much pressure on that top lane and resulting in For the Dream losing that top lane and getting their jungle invaded and continually being starved, and that's exactly what Team Noob wants to do against them.
Oh, but that was a great
that heal. My God.
Was so clutch, but so is Vex. And, you know, it's great because we saw the Hissy Fit go down, and we saw the damage come in from Shurko. And, I mean, we saw the side of Team Noob, like, wow, that potential is there. Like, they can actually get chunked, but they were able to follow up. A great recovery there from FTD, but look at the towers. The towers are falling, and Mr. Rain, more like Mr. Pain, as he is just dropping here once again. They're just going to let him live a little bit longer. as he accepts his death with open arms.
Yeah, it's 4 kills in 6 minutes, so it's honestly not that bad. We've seen a lot more kills. Before the Dream could have actually salvaged a lot of those kills. Don't overextend. Like Joker getting caught up by Vex there. You saw the combo that Vex did onto Joker. It took 90% of his life, and then Vex was able to jump right back in and kill him right underneath the tower. So they gotta be careful here, because every time they die, again, Team Noob takes those deaths and converts them to huge leads.
Speaking of leads, I mean, hey, Team Noob is getting a Dark Slayer, but hey, For the Dream's getting a kill as well. The lead is still extending here for Team Noob. Able to create that space was the Flash in that situation. But I want to talk about the contrast between last game and this game. So game number 1, Team Noob was playing hyper-aggressive. They would go in, they would overextend. For the Dream would capitalize. But then they would stay too long, and Team Noob would recover, come back, stabilize, and get some kills of their own.
Exactly. Now, Team Noob is not making those mistakes. They're much more surgical, much more precise. And For the Dream is making those mistakes. Mr. Rain here dying a 3rd time. Look at him, 2.8k to Kilgarth at 4.5. Kilgarth has Fafnir's Talon, and he has his Scorching Wind. So he is going to do so much attack speed and so much life steals on both those items that's going to be really hard for them to focus him down.
But a great predictive stun shuts down Poseidon. That was absolutely huge. Grizzly Q is being a beast in this game. That was exactly what they needed. The tower still falls. I don't care. Grizzly Q, my FTD MVP right there. That was absolutely clutch. He's been going off in both of these games. This man is a monster.
Yeah, it's very interesting to see the way that the Team Noob is doing. Vex is going to be able us because look at him. Necroth, he's going to go back in. Oh my goodness. This guy's a monster on this Necroth.
This is the 1v5 situation. Vex is there. I believe he... No.
Oh, wow.
Just no.
Nice rotation. Shirko is in trouble now. He needs to get the heck out. 0-9. Again, 0-9 is the captain or support player, but he's on the Ryoma, so this is a very offensive draft. You saw For the Dream play it. It worked out really well for them last game, but Team Noob is playing a similar draft, putting, instead of a Joker on support, they're putting a Ryoma on support, and they're abusing this completely. Full damage on Team Noob here. Objectives, kills is basically what they're doing every single time.
This is their anthem right now in this game, and they're just playing their tune For the Dream in full retreat right now. You said it, the way they're sort of creating these hybrid support positions, they're making it work so beautifully here. Team Noob showing their versatility here in this last grand final here for week number 6 as they're re-engaging up here on the Slayer side. Look at the stuns, the knockups are there over and over, and that is going to be For the Dream a full route, and that is going to be the ace, the wipe, 0-7.
Oh my god, that's going to be the game. Kilgroth is down there, and that's going to be GG.
That is going to be it with that. Game number 2, week number 6, Team Noob, your undisputed kings of Europe.
In the wise words of Yeezy, nothing in life is promised except death. Well, nothing in the Valor Series Europe is promised except for a Team Noob victory, securing themselves 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of 6 weeks in a row. Team Noob walks away with the #1 seed and, more importantly, undisputed Kings of Europe.
Yeah, again, we questioned the tower pick. Didn't really run, completely lost the Slayer lane. I don't know if it was a mispick or not. It may have been, but you can see what Team Noob did. I love what 0-9 did there. You can show his flexibility. He got Hermes Select boots, right? That allows him to rotate across the map so much quicker. These jungle invades, Ryoma initiating with the Wailing Blade Sun, and then the rest of the team following up, getting these kills. I mean, beautiful, beautiful composition by Team Noob and just executing it to perfection with how they invade and won early game.
That draft was aggression incarnate. They came in, every single member of that team could make plays. Everyone had stuns. They lined them up. They knocked them down. They went bowling strikes to turkeys all day long. Might as well be Thanksgiving out there right now. They were looking so solid. There was never a moment they were not in control of that game. We saw life in game number 1 for the Dream, but I don't know what happened. They looked like a different team. They came out disheartened in game number 2, and they got shut down.
Not only that, but For the Dream is going to have a lot of research to comb through over the course of now and when we show up at E3 in the middle of June. there are plenty of question marks to be had. And if you think about Game 2 specifically, it all started in that draft phase.
Yeah, it definitely did. And like I said, the key was to let Liliana get to late game. She never really got her late game power spike. They didn't combo a lot of their abilities. Team Noob is the one that's comboing a lot better. I mean, the way that Vex was playing this Nakroth was just amazing. I mean, this guy is a danger on Nakroth, so you got to be careful. And with the rotation speed of Ryoma and Nakroth, that allowed them to invade and just eat up the jungle. And that's a really smart strategy that Team Noob has pulled off. And I felt like teams will have to really think about that when they face them in finals.
Well, I also think it's great because he literally only played Nakroth. I want to talk about not showing your hand. Literally only play one hero in the last week. Clearly there's so much else that he can bring to the table, but he's able to do it all on one pick, and it's probably like a B tier. He just wanted to play the skin. It's probably like a B tier pick for him, and he made it look so amazing here, just showing that, hey, I'm just not going to show you anything. Watch this. He's going to get respect bans on Nakroth now and just never touch it.
Well, as they say, behind every strong carry is an even stronger support, and our support today is going to be getting that everything. 0-9, Ryoma is in this instance, but every step of the way, he has been there for his team.
Yeah, he played an amazing Alice. He body blocked. The Thunderbird ultimate had great hissy fit zoning or locking down. That Alice with flash combo was just insane. And then Ryoma, I mean, I didn't know he could play Ryoma, but his rotations, right? Rushing the Hermes Select allowed him to rotate a lot quicker, collapsing, getting these picks, and converting every single one of those picks into objectives was phenomenal. And just great to watch 0-9 really shine and support his all-star cast, like Vex and everyone else on there.
Oh, it was great to see. My two favorite numbers in that series.
Well, just like that, Team Noob walks away with the finals victory. 6 weeks in a row, gentlemen, have proven without a fraction of a doubt that they are #1 in Europe. Now, of course, we had the relegation matches happening earlier. Arctic Gaming, Spanish Takers taking away those victories. Now, Europe is over. Europe has completed. We can get ourselves a little nice small clap. We can give ourselves a nice pat on the shoulder because it has concluded. Now, last final question, last final thoughts. With Europe having concluded for the regular season, what are you expecting coming into the regional finals while still very preliminary, or what are you hoping that teams look to accomplish and improve at over the course of the next few weeks?
Yeah, they have to study Team Noob. I mean, this is a team that has played phenomenal. Every single competition they run, it doesn't matter. They play really well. So that is really the competition. If you can study and learn and execute what Team Noob is doing, then you're learning the meta. And then you need to figure out how to counter Team Noob, because if you don't and you're going to play their game, you're going to be in a tough spot. And that's what teams need to really do. They need to study the best teams, learn what they do, and be able to counter them and hopefully win when it comes to that live playoffs.
And I think, too, is they can't, I agree 100%, they need to study Team Noob, but they also need to look outside of their region. They need to look at what North America's doing. They need to look at what Asia is doing in particular here. They need to be looking for that, because if you just keep playing Team Noob at their own game, keep staying stale in this European meta, they're going to be at a disadvantage because Team Noob is doing it the best. So you need to look outside of your region. You need to take inspiration from what other teams, the best teams, especially in Asia, are doing right now, seeing how they're controlling the meta, seeing how they're shifting things, and then take that, bring it back home, work on it, whiteboard it, bring it together, and hope you can take it against Team Noob.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And looking at other regions will help a lot, because gives you a sense of what's strong, what matchups work. And if you kind of knew Tara wouldn't do well against Kilroth, then you would have not picked a Tara, right?
Well, the standings, we're not going to, Tara's just going to go under the desk. But Europe has concluded 900 points, gentlemen. Team Noob, first place every week for the Dream, taking the tiebreaker over Vitality. So for the Dream will secure themselves #2. Vitality at 3, Nova at 4, Royal, Queso, Existence, and then Myth in the Jungle rounding up the 5 through 8 slots. Those 5 through 8 slots will still award themselves some money. The 1st through 4th having to still battle it out coming into the finals. Europe has concluded. It's been quite a long journey, hasn't it?
6 weeks. 6 great weeks, though, in Europe. Every single time, it's, will Team Noob keep doing it? Yeah, they keep doing it, but everyone else has gotten better. And we've seen it here demonstrated today. That game #1 in that finals, Europe as a reach, I felt like there was a huge disparity between Team Noob and everyone else. NA felt a little bit closer, but overall, everyone's just getting better. It's what you love to see.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's been such a joy to watch. A lot of these teams grow up and get better and better, and also shows that Team Noob is the most consistent team in both NA and EU. And they're someone that I'm really looking forward to how they perform. And maybe if they do really well, I'm really looking forward to World Cup too. I mean, if they continue to grow like this and scale like that, then they're a force to be reckoned with, and other regions need to pay notice, not just EU.
Well, you've heard it from my analysts, you've heard it from me, and unfortunately, Europe comes to a close. But do not go anywhere. North America is up. As Plato once said, only the dead have seen the end of the war. The war is not yet over. North America comes next after the break.